the exact separation lines, the cutting angles, the finishing stuff. So our mission here is basically to decode that blueprint. We want to understand how this really rigid, almost mathematical structure underneath leads to a look that, for you listening, seems completely soft, natural, and flowing. It's like the shortcut to understanding that design precision.
Yeah, you really have to see it as a project. And, well, any good project starts with a solid foundation, doesn't it?
Okay, right. Let's get into that foundation then. Before any scissors come out, the hair needs to be organized. You said the whole design is kind of dictated by just a few key separation lines. How does the guide tell us to, like, map out the head?
Well, what's really interesting here is how the manual immediately sets up perfect symmetry, and it does it using just two essential straight divisions. Think of it like setting coordinates on a map of the skull. These two lines create four perfect mirror sections, and these sections govern every single step that follows.
Okay, just two straight lines organize the whole thing. What are they?
So the first one is called the profile separation. This basically dictates the left-right balance. It's a perfectly straight line running right from the start of the forehead at the hairline straight down the middle all the way to the nape. It makes sure that whatever you do on the left side gets mirrored exactly on the right. Simple, but critical.
And the second line, I assume that defines the front and back, where the different parts of the cut are going to happen.
Precisely. That's the crown separation. This one runs straight across the top of the head, connecting one ear right across the crown to the other ear. So once you've got the hair divided by both the profile and the crown separations, you've broken down all that complexity into four manageable symmetrical quadrants. It's really the proof that this haircut is first and foremost a structured design. It's pure geometry.
Right. That structure makes sense because the first big job is setting the length in the base. We need that clean, straight cut, the dusas kizimi in the back. Now, the usual problem with the straight cut, as you know, is it can look really heavy or chunky or what stylists sometimes call mold-like. So how do you get that sharp, clean line without the hair just looking like a solid block?
Okay, so you start the back, right? And you establish the base length using horizontal sections. These are called yate ayrımlar. This is where the precision really kicks in. The source says to use a very sharp, clean technique, sometimes called a sharp cutting technique, using straight scissor cuts. The idea is to get maximum visual density, maximum sharpness, right at that bottom edge.
But hang on, that sounds exactly like the recipe for that heavy blunt look we're trying to avoid. If you cut all the hair in the back like that, won't it just fall heavily?
Ah, yes, that's the core tension, isn't it? And that's exactly why this idea of gradual cutting becomes maybe the single most important detail here. The source is really insistent that the cut must be done in gradual steps. They call it kademeli bishekilde.
So instead of taking one big chunk horizontally, you break it down into smaller bits.
You break it down, often into, say, 3 or maybe 4 really thin horizontal stages. The first thin section you cut acts as the perfect guide, the clavus, for the next thin layer of hair just above it. You're essentially building that straight line, but from the bottom up, layer by tiny layer.
Okay, wait, why? Why is that gradual way so necessary? What's the actual physics behind cutting thin sections versus thick ones?
Right. The reason is critical. It's all about controlling density and making sure it falls evenly, homogeneously.
Yeah.
If you try to cut too much hair at once, the weight and just the different tension across that thick section makes it fall unevenly. And worse, it creates what the source calls that kalup-jibi effect, that heavy mold-like block that just doesn't move. By cutting in these gradual thin steps, you let the weight distribute nicely. It ensures that when the hair falls, it falls smoothly, keeps the sharp line visually, but still has some natural swing. It's about building a solid line, yeah, but respecting how hair actually behaves with weight.
That makes so much sense. That's the hidden difference, isn't it, between an amateur straight cut and a professionally engineered one. It's all about managing weight, even when it looks like one simple line.
Exactly. So now we've got that rigid foundation set. Now we can move to the softer part, the face framing element.
This is where the curtain bangs come in. They're perde kakul. Okay, so this needs a specific shape right at the front. How is that defined?
The sectioning here is incredibly precise. You isolate the hair for the bangs using a triangular shape, ushin formunda 1 irum. That triangle starts right at the middle part, and it extends back towards that crown separation line we made earlier. But here's the crucial bit. The width of that triangle, where it starts at the front, must begin precisely at the start of the eyebrows. Kashin and bashnukdasandan.
Why exactly at the start of the eyebrows? What does that do?
That specific width makes sure the bangs frame the eyes and the cheekbones just right. Too narrow and the bangs look kind of weak. Too wide and they just take over the face. Okay, so once you've got that triangle isolated, the goal is to cut a line that creates a soft guide. It should align roughly with the cheekbones, maybe the tip of the nose. And you get this by cutting the hair at a 45-degree angle. That angle is key for the curve. Kavisli olması gerekiyor.
Right, the 45-degree angle. That's the classic for getting that soft, sweeping curve. But the manual mentions something surprising about how the stylist needs to stand. Body positioning.
Ah, yes. This is the kind of detail that makes this source so interesting. It's super practical. To hit that 45-degree angle comfortably and precisely and do it the same way every time, the stylist actually has to stand on the opposite side of the client.
The opposite side, that sounds completely backwards. Why would you do that?
It's purely about body mechanics. Think about it. If you're standing on the same side as the hair you're cutting, your arm and body are twisted, right? It's physically awkward to hold a perfect 45-degree angle and keep the tension steady. But if you step to the opposite side, like you're cutting the client's right bang, but you stand on their left, it creates a much more natural straight line for your cutting arm. It gives you maximum control, maximum accuracy over that crucial angle. It's almost like a physical requirement for technical perfection.
Wow. That really does make it sound more like sculpting than just cutting. The stylist's own body becomes part of the architecture. Okay, so we've got our sharp, straight base and our softly defined curtain bangs. The next challenge then is blending it all, adding movement, layering Katlandirma, but without losing the length we just carefully established.
Yes, this step is absolutely key to bridging that gap between the sharp base and the soft fringe. The layering has to be light, and like you said, it must preserve that baseline length. The technique here relies entirely on how you lift the projection.
Okay, how is the hair projected or lifted for this kind of layering? Not out, not down.
No, exactly. Instead, the hair is combed straight upwards, towards the ceiling, all of it. And the guide, the kalavuz that you use for this layering, is actually the shortest point that was created way back when we did the initial straight base cut at the nape.
Okay, let me picture this. If you pull a strand of hair from the very bottom of the nape, straight up over the top of the head, the hair closest to the scalp is now your guide, but the very ends of that strand, the bit that defines the actual length, are way up high, far from the scissors.
Exactly. You're using physics, really. Tension and angles. When you comb the hair straight up and cut it against that short guide from the nape, you're only trimming the very ends of the hair that actually reach that high point. This technique is called a fixed design line, in the source. By pulling everything straight up to that one fixed point, you guarantee that the lower sections of the length, the boy, remain long and basically untouched. Only the upper bits get lightly layered.
So the aim isn't really dramatic, obvious layers. It's more about just enough internal movement so the hair doesn't just hang there flat.
Precisely. And because it is a light layering process, hafifwan katlandama ishlami, the final shape of the hair isn't some drastic V or U shape in the back. It's designed so that when it falls naturally, it creates more of an oval shape, an oval bigurin too. It's about integrating internal volume and movement really seamlessly with the overall length.
Okay, so we've used the sharp straight cut, the careful 45-degree angle, and now this upward projection for the fixed design line. The main structural work seems done. But let's go back to that base cut for a second. We talked about its sharpness. That precision cutting, doesn't it inherently leave a really hard, maybe too clean edge? The final step must be about softening that up, right?
That is the absolutely critical final step,
Yeah.
yes. If we stopped right now, the hair would have that sharp line, maybe a hard look. A keskin one hat and a cert one gurntu. We definitely need to introduce softness, some texture, some naturalness, especially on the ends. This is the texturizing phase. Or inseltme, which means thinning.
Okay, texturizing. How does the technical guide suggest doing this final softening step?
It actually details a combination of 3 different methods, and crucially, they're applied only to the ends, not halfway up the hair shaft. They suggest using FL scissors, thinning shears, efilam akasila, also the twisting technique, burgu teknikidile, where you twist sections and snip into them, and point cutting, pikdash teknikle. These tools and techniques are all designed to break up those blunt lines we created, but without actually removing length.
Right. But thinning, if it's done badly, can be one of the most obvious mistakes, can't it?
Yeah.
You can sometimes see those horrible track marks or lines where the bulk was taken out.
Huh.
How does the guide make sure the thinning is well, invisible.
This is probably one of the most advanced, subtle insights in the whole guide, I think. To prevent those telltale track marks, so it is Yatmamasana Saliorum, the stylist is specifically told to use zert asiler, that means different, opposing angles during the texturizing.
Opposing angles. What does that actually look like? How do you do that?
Well, think about it. If you just thin the hair using one consistent angle, like always cutting straight in, you're essentially creating a hidden straight line of shorter hair within the bulk. That's what shows. By approaching the hair from different angles, maybe one snip vertically, the next one horizontally, maybe the next diagonally into the twist, you make sure that the removal of weight is scattered, it's distributed invisibly through the ends. This variation in angle creates a much more staggered, diffused finish. You get that soft, natural look without leaving any harsh lines behind. It's the final technical touch to soften the rigidity we spent so much time building.
Wow. This has been quite the journey, a real masterclass in seeing hair design as basically applied physics and geometry. We started with just two straight lines, the profile and the crown to map the head. Then we moved through that gradual straight cut to control the weight, the opposite side 45-degree stance for the perfect curtain bang, then the upward projection using the fixed design line for invisible layers, and finally, this multi-angle texturizing to soften the whole thing.
And we've seen how this blended design can actually be really versatile. It works for fine hair, thick hair, long, medium, precisely because every single step is controlled by this kind of geometric calculation. The result is a structure that's adaptable. It's not just stiff.
It really is amazing how much meticulous planning, how much structure goes into creating a look that is ultimately supposed to appear just effortlessly natural. So if we step back from all the details of this deep dive, that's the final, maybe provocative thought we should leave our listener with as they think about this blueprint.
I think the real paradox we've uncovered is kind of the heart of the whole design. This really beautiful, soft flowing aesthetic, the kind that looks like maybe the client just woke up with perfect natural hair. It's entirely dependent on the rigidity of the structure underneath it all. The whole process hinges on these meticulously planned geometric sections. Those profile and crown divisions, the precise triangular fringe, the fixed design line, the perfect 45-degree angles. If you compromise that underlying structure at any point, you actually compromise the final movement and softness. So in a way, the rigidity creates the fluidity. Maybe think about that the next time you see a hairstyle that looks completely effortless. Chances are it took an incredible amount of hidden structure, maybe even some math to get there.
Hello friends, to you today, Bob Haircut. I will explain in detail how the design is made. We divide our model into 4 main sections while Bob Haircut. Profile separation as the first main part. Profile separation 1, starting from the middle of the eyebrow to the straight separation we have separated until the profile end. Separation 2, separation, crown separation. From one other ear to the other ear, we have separated. We call the straight line the crown separation. With this distinction, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. After separating 4 main sections, starting from the nape part, we will cut the hair in 4 stages. The back part first. Sharpening cutting technique. We will determine the length of the hair, which is the first stage of the hair. With sharpening cutting technique after determining the height. And sedan, sharpen. Cutting the section. After revealing the length of your hair, this dye is suitable in one way, progressively to the hair at 45-degree angles. We will apply a haircut, what we call gradation bob cut on the back, that is, the hair. To add movement and volume, to the back of the hair to provide natural 1E transition. Folding. We will apply a folding process with 45-degree angles. Your hair in the first place, at an angle of 0 degrees to determine his height. Hair. We determine the neck from the nape part. This is the basis of the hair. We determine the length of the hair. Hair is second stage. We separate Guinea horizontal. I create one distinction. And from the middle part of the hair, after creating horizontal separation, we'll create a distinction. The hair point we cut from the bottom one by forming one angle of 45 degrees by taking guide. We continue our cut in this nape part, creating vertical separations. Nape part. I cut it at 45-degree angles. If you want to get a haircut like this, coming to my hall from me, you can get haircut service. Our hall is in Istanbul, Beylikdüzü. Social media addresses are available in the description section. By reaching my hall from here, of my video, you can get hair cutting services and hairdressing services. Back part. With horizontal vertical separations. I keep cutting with a 45-degree angle. Here by separating the hair slice by slice, cutting the stain piece by slice. And check the hair point we have cut before from the bottom. We continue our cutting, as you can see on the back, creating light coats. In hair. So we call boldness, make the hair look beautiful, and we ensure that the back of the hair is folded. We created the second distinction. First division was a straight division, second division, and third division third distinction. Hair at 45-degree angles to the guinea. According to output direction, we create a 90-degree separation and the hair comes out. Direction after. We also create a 45-degree angle as a cut. When forming the 45-degree angle, the hair point we cut first. We continue as a guide, friends. This distinction with the hair points we cut before. We continue our process by combining. If you want to watch my other videos, my channel. There are many categories of videos in the video section. By reaching here, you can also watch my other videos, as you can see. Forming distinctions and at an angle of 45 degrees. From the inside out. We continue our haircut by creating layers. Here I fold the back of the hair as a basis first. And in the next process, your hair. On the left and right sides, equating each other. We create our bob haircut design. We're coming to the tray part. Tray, as you can see. After coming to the part of the guinea vertical by creating a distinction. Bottom to top 45. Forming an angle of 45 degrees from inside to outside. I continue the haircut. For your information, I cut the hair by separating it slice by slice. As you can see, the gradient will form the 3 shape. At the back, layers formed and a beautiful image occurred. I come to the left part of the hair after cutting the back part, and from here creating a diagonal 1 distinction, a short on the back and short on the front. Creating a light 45-degree angle that from the neck to the front light space. Light here pandgui to get one extending view with 45-degree finger grip. I keep making sure. Then I comb the hair back. The front part of the hair is a little longer because I combed it backwards. I will appear. Here I equate with the shortness in the back. And I keep getting certain. My finger grip here is slightly 45 degrees, not straight. Suitable for the slope of the hair. Suitable for the model of the hair. From the neck to the front. Light 45-degree. Angles with sharp horse cutting technique with finger grip. I cut it with a straight scissor stroke. After this cutting process is finished, I'm going to the other part. I'm going to the right guinea the same way. Left side, well, the technique I applied is diagonal again, with cross separations. I comb the hair back to form. And by creating an angle of 45 degrees as a finger grip, with the clamp on the back, the length of the front, equalizing by creating a 45-degree angle. Here I comb the hair slightly backwards. And after scanning the front part slightly backwards, again with a 45-degree angle, I continue the hair cutting process. Here is the appearance of your hair from the neck to the short front. To achieve a slightly elongated one appearance. Graduation bob here. We can also describe it as cutting, folded back to the front. One haircut with lengthening transitions. We create the process. You guys are bob haircut too. Other haircutting techniques, also from the subject. So if you want to get a haircut, you can come to my salon and get service from me. Our place is in Istanbul, Beylikdüzü. Yes, the front of the hair. Want to add some movement. In the front. Suitable for natural separation. I made the distinction and I'm separating. And by doing the heel control, stretching forward from the nape part, I will create a 45-degree angle again. I created the distinction here from the top part. Do we have a mistake or not? We will check it and get it from the neck. At an angle of 45 degrees, to come from short to long. I equalize the hair as you can see the top distinction. I'm creating a distinction from the joke parts with one address. And after creating the adenolar distinction again, from the shortest point, I see the hairline we cut on the back. My guide, our guide 1 hair point we cut before. After cutting this point, creating an angle of 45 degrees, I continued cutting. After doing this, friends, your hair, to the hair to ensure their transition, I will apply blocking. So hard appearance on 3 parts of the hair, more natural than transitional to achieve one. A to get the pass. I use E-file scissors to get, that is, 1 scissors of hair that we call intermediate scissors, separating it gradually as if cutting it again. Starting from the neck, I will apply thinning to the hair. As you can see here, I separated the hair from the first point I cut. And her hair is 45 degrees guinea, hereby creating an angle, cross point. So I apply thinning to the hair with the cutting technique. I'm not hitting a straight scissor blow, but a diagonal E way. I pass the hair by applying scissor blows. Don't thin the hair as you can see here. Go to the process E hair. I'm applying the pictus technique to the hair here. Thinning the ends of the hair, not the bottoms of the hair. End parts of the hair. Providing their transitions. Your hair is more homogeneous. Begin. To provide passage, I applied a thinning process. This process, after applying it, by applying one beautiful blow-dry process to the forming process, we will not have completed the E-hair design of our model. Friends, you too. If you like my video, don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks to you. Our videos are watched more and more every day. And our channel is getting bigger every day. For watching my video and subscribing to my channel, thank you so much. See you with one new video. Take good care of yourself. Hope to see you. I wish you a good day. See you soon.
Hello everyone, how to design pixie haircut for you today. It's done. I'll explain it in detail. Asterisk first, I created the basic separations, then asterisk now. How do I create the basic distinctions here? Starting from the eyebrow lines, triangle 1 in format 1, I made a distinction, high, asterisk we call the purchase. Motive separation this. Distinction B, dividing the hair from the back into two main sections, asterisk I started hair removal here by creating a horizontal separation from the neck 1 from the bottom to determine the shortness starting hair with vertical separations, asterisk I. Start cutting at 90-degree angles, asterisk. This will be our guide. Asterisk, this shortness determines the length of your short hair after cutting the hair from the nape part after creating a horizontal separation asterisk. I cut it at 90-degree angles. Separation with vertical separations. Then I check the hair here. So is there a mistake or not? Starting from the neck. So now I continue my haircut asterisk here. As you can see, after cutting the nape part to soften the ends of the hair channel. Cutting technique. Softening the ends, and after cutting the neck join, asterisk. I'm creating a vertical distinction now. This one separation at the bottom, asterisk. I will combine it with the hair point I cut. 1 divided the levels and the hair asterisk with 90-degree angles according to the output direction I keep cutting. You see here, asterisk I. Create a sharpening cutting technique like asterisk I. Cut the hair with a sharp scarf. Technique asterisk I. Comb the hair according to the exit direction of the hair at 90 degrees asterisk and asterisk I. Cut the first tier in the bottom of the hair following the hair guide. I have determined I cut the same size after cutting hair to the top and the top combing hair. Cut asterisk I. Continued, then the other after cutting the step I cut in the middle I created a vertical separation from the left side, again. After creating this separation asterisk, I combed the hair again at a 90 degree scanning angle and I'm scanning upwards and end the hair point I cut. I see the manual and continue my cutting here. I cut with straight scissor strokes asterisk, yes, as you can see later, asterisk 1 horizontal. I create one horizontal separation on the right and left side, and this horizontal distinction is like this, yes, with the hair guide. I cut before asterisk, I comb the hair in front of the exit and asterisk, yes, with straight scissor stroke, with sharpening cutting technique, asterisk, I. Continue my cutting process in the back. I see the guide, so I cut the previous one. I see your hair point guide asterisk first, a horizontal, asterisk, now I cut it according to the length of the hair. Now I continue my cutting process with vertical separations, then asterisk after. Cutting the point I cut at the bottom. After cutting the point I reserved upwards, asterisk I separate one level for a guinea, one level for a vertical. After separating scanning upwards, asterisk towards the exit direction of the hair point cutting technique, I keep cutting asterisk, yes. As you can see here, the purchase pattern on the front, I just didn't open the distinction. Just asterisk the nonsense I cut before to the two main parts I have reserved. I continue with asterisk after cutting the left side. I go to the right side, asterisk, yes, here, asterisk again, I created one distinction by creating a vertical distinction, and now asterisk upwards, II after cutting the first stage. I cut the stage by creating the vertical separation asterisk now. As you can see here from the temple, part 1, I made a distinction horizontal of horizontal asterisk after creating the distinction. The previous, from the hair point I cut, as you can see, asterisk E, your shortness, I'm checking, and I see the sheath on the hair point and E, horizontally E. I continue my cutting process. As you can see here, horizontal E, I create one cut and asterisk after this. Cut is formed asterisk. Did I leave it down, as you can see? Gets one story view and Guinea with vertical separations, asterisk. I equate the top and bottom equally again, creating a vertical separation. Again, yes, my E control, by creating one vertical separation and E-point cutting technique, asterisk mistakes at the ends. If there are long parts, asterisk, I'm picking up and I've come to the top. I cut the bottom now. The upper part is likewise with vertical separations, asterisk E, now upwards again, in accordance with the brevity at the bottom, by cutting with dot cutting technique, asterisk that is. By cutting with point cutting technique asterisk, I continue the haircut hair here from top to bottom, asterisk. I gradually cut to the point cutting technique. Here is the length of your hair. We determined asterisk. We determined this height, that is, the hair length on the nape. This paint fits in one way. We follow our guide and cut it to the same size. Yes, as you can see downwards, I continue my direct cutting process to control asterisk. I'm using the star technique here, so my slice is above starting from the top down asterisk. I cut in one step. Yes, I started from the right to the left, always checking asterisk, cutting with downward asterisk, asterisk. Point cutting technique, point cut on the ends of the hair when we cut the technique, asterisk, zigzag. Zigzag E, it creates views to when you leave the hair natural E. More homogeneous, more neat, 1E so hair scissors doesn't show your trace and provides one more natural transition asterisk. Now we're at the front of the hair asterisk here again. I created one vertical distinction, asterisk E, and the distinction here is appropriately on the back E section upwards, front part a little longer E. It will happen here at an angle of 45 degrees, asterisk E, the front part, asterisk. I cut it gradually with the star technique. Again, from short to long greetings, if you want to get a haircut like this, E. Social media addresses in the description part of my video available U to E short story. By going to my salon as an appointment pixie haircut, you can get the service asterisk. As you can see, we continue our haircut borda. Yes, asterisk yes. In accordance with the guide, I cut before front parts of the hair slightly too long. I'm scanning at a 90-degree 1E scanning angle again, but as a cut, I make a 45-degree cut. The front of the hair is a little longer, to appear, asterisk. Here we will determine the separation point of your hair, Which direction will it divide our customer in that direction, asterisk. We will continue our folding process here. The ends of the hair I wet it again because it is thin wire. It is dry E. The hair dries very quickly, so I wet it. I continue the cutting process again, asterisk. Yes, here is our customer. E. Splitting her hair to the left side, we are also our customer passing to the right. E. We continue our cutting process at one more comfortable angle from right to left with one scan angle E. E. Cut at 45-degree angles to the front of the hair. Nice asterisk. We apply folding process by providing one pass E and I. Continue my cutting here with Picadus technique, softening the ends of the hair. I make it a better one. Pass. Our haircut is over, so now stage 2. Starting from the front of the hair in a gradual way, softening the ends of the hair with net scissors and add some depth to the hair. Here, E-scissors, losing your tracks, and 4 more natural 1 transition of hair E-in to make their fall more natural 1 Fowler model. For more comfortable use in daily life, apply softening to the ends of the hair. Here, with effigy shears and canal technique island softening the end parts from back to front. As you can see here, guinea I thin the ends of the hair in Pictus technique, asterisk, definitely to the bottom of the hair, asterisk, i.e. don't apply E-file scissors from the bottom. I apply the ends of the hair, starting from the neck, asterisk, again. Gradually with the channel technique, thinning your hair from the neck. If you want to get a haircut like this, you can come to my salon and get a haircut service. In Istanbul, Beylikdüzü, Chung R Hall. I'm working on an appointment now. If you want to make an appointment, asterisk, by reaching me from my social media addresses, Sue can get haircut service, asterisk, asterisk. My gradual thinning process continues, asterisk, after examining the nape part. The middle part of the hill, I came to the occult area, and here is the guinea canal, and asterisk, I keep thinning the ends of the hair. Then I came to the top. Here in guinea picus technique, the ends of the hair, I thinned guinea tips when I reach the peak, asterisk, E. Thinning, I continue my process after our haircut, asterisk, E, with a nice shaping process and blow dry process, E. Now our model's haircut design. We're done, guys. If you want a haircut like this, asterisk, I need my salon. You can get service haircut service, our model, short layered pixie haircut.
Greetings to you today, asymmetrical graduation Bob. Haircut asterisk, how to do it, I will explain it in detail. Starting haircut, we create the basic distinctions. Here's your hair. We will divide it into 5 main sections. I apply a distinction in star technique asterisk, and triangular from the front, then right and left, starting from a peak. Make star-shaped distinctions and back in 2 pieces, as you can see, after creating the separation asterisk A. Certain from the occipital area, I made a diagonal distinction asterisk and after. Creating this distinction, I make another horizontal distinction. This distinction asterisk determine the basis of the hair. That is, the shortness of the hair asterisk, provided that you do not open the nape part too much here. Asterisk, asterisk, a horizontal one on the nape straight one. By creating a distinction, as you can see by using our scissors as a ruler with its precise technique. That is, with straight scissors free, I determined the hair length of our model, and then guinea same way. After specifying our guide, the next pinch same way, the hair point we cut before as a guide, I cut the same size after making this cut asterisk again. At 45-degree angles here, on the back of the hair, as you can see asterisk 45 degrees of vertical separation from. Now, on I add texture to the hair, and this is graduation so, to get the look. The back is a curved folded view asterisk with a slight 45-degree angle to achieve EE. Now, I'm giving texture to the back of the hair, then asterisk. We divided the two main sections in the first main section, so triangular again in diagonal form asterisk. I give texture to the hair by creating distinctions asterisk from the middle part again, forming an angle of 45 degrees. I continue to add texture to the hair, starting from the middle part texture. Now EE after, cutting 45 steel angle, cutting the other piece in line with the same guide scanning backwards asterisk, both. The front part of the hair is curved like this asterisk to achieve a sweet look and an image. Extending the blow dry, I cut it at a 45-degree angle to get, and so the transitions are moving and more. Smooth E to provide transitions I cut by creating diagonal separations asterisk, and after coming to the third piece. From the middle part to the guinea, I create a vertical distinction and her hair is 45 degrees from the inside out asterisk. I gain texture by cutting and guinea the hair point I cut. Before combing backwards at an angle of 245 degrees we have earned with moving image asterisk. I keep shaping asterisk, so I cut it in the same line with the hair point I cut before equalize each other asterisk. As you can see, our folding process on the back we applied, we cut it in two sections. We divided it in two sections. We cut this section, yes. And now the next asterisk, the same way to the hair point. We reserved for the leader to be taller another diagonal distinction asterisk. We created in scanning backwards asterisk 45-degree angle. This way it will go forward to get a longer look from short to long. We do our cutting process by following asterisk. Our angle here is 45 degrees. Horizontal asterisk, a horizontal opening of 45 degrees and asterisk with grip. Angle, we get an image that stretches down EE for the right side to be shorter asterisk. And again, this time we make the distinction. And here we are with scissors asterisk down. Again slightly. EE a more straight at an angle of 5 degrees asterisk. So, vary was not curved. Make our process to get a shorter image here is the neck that is suitable for short. As you can see, I cut by equalizing the right side is short. The left side is longer asterisk. We will have a look in this section. Finally, we come to the top. As you can see, I made a distinction on the top. Vertical again, and after creating a vertical separation, first asterisk we cut hair point as a sword again asterisk from the work outward at an angle of 45 degrees. Now I continue my cutting here. The back is more curved, and we get a folded look after creating the distinction here. I hold the front and our customer exit. Direction on the front asterisk, which way he separates it. Take it that way. Yes, I cut the right side short. I equate it with the shortness we have appeared in the nape part asterisk, so. And the other left side 2 asterisk. The front will be longer with a 45-degree angle. I'm scanning backwards, somehow again, at an angle of 45 degrees. Now I'm applying my cutting process. We make the front part longer here. We add some texture to the front of the hair, yes, and a little bit with light scrolling technique asterisk. I'm moving plain front part. Yes, we finished. Cutting the model of our hair asterisk now Here next stage with F-file scissors asterisk now. E in a gradual way, starting from the back of the hair endsway, will apply a thinning processor is the effect that I applied to the ends of the hair with scissors providing a more homogeneous transition of your hair asterisk. A beautiful image with softer transitions we make it take at the ends of your hair. Hard transitions softening E. Yes, fold on the floors with F-file scissors to prevent their hard passage asterisk. I apply a thinning. Process your hair, as you can see here, perpendicular to the ends asterisk. I thinned it with Pictus technique, then I scan again with the picnic stone technique on the ends of the hair, thinning the ends with the net scissors. Yes, here. Asterisk, we definitely don't. Hit the bottom of the hair with the E-file scissors asterisk short hair. If we hit the bottom, because it will always repel long hair more. You encounter a problem like swelling, so in here for the model to get a softer image, we only thin the ends definitely. F-file scissors in very rare cases. It's used so the bottom of the hair is hit too by the name of the person. So always thinning the ends of the hair asterisk. It will be better and more advantageous. So we don't apply guarantor scissors to the bottom of the hair ply to the ends of the hair and make it more natural. And to make a nice transition, our model ply asymmetrical E, left side long right side asterisk, short compared to the other section bob hair design. So you guys are like this asterisk. If you want to get a haircut asterisk social media in the description, part of my video reaching me from my addresses haircut by coming to my salon asterisk service and other hairdressing services you can get service. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I will be with you with new videos. Hope to see you. Goodbye.
Hello friends! To you today, Bob Haircut Desig. I will explain in detail how it is done. Our model's hair is E short here, starting from the width and with a light one diagonally angle. There will be one bob haircut model that grows slightly forward. It won't be too extreme. First, we start with basic distinctions when cutting. Our first basic distinction is profile separation. Profile separation. From the beginning of the forehead, starting straight as one line, until the end of the neck, of the occipital region straight line to the end. We say profile separation, creating our first profile distinction. After creating a profile separation too, the distinction of the crown separation is also one. From ear to ear, head to the end start and end to the endo. The distinction we create, we call it crown separation. Crown separation. To separate our guinea comb. Guinea start from here. Starting from the starting point of the back. From the point it touches. As you can see, I'm starting to distinguish from this point from the exact peak point. This is already at the point where the crown separation occurs automatically, forming these distinctions the basic distinctions of hair. We divide the hair into 4 main sections. When you make these distinctions one on your next haircut, our model is the same. Perfectly. You can cut. 2. Our model is It will be to determine the hair length. We will separate our guide from the first nape part here, our model's head, while cutting her first hair. Very little forward. We want to give bird from the enzyme part. I created one horizontal line. And now here we will create the guide of our hair. Our guide is important to us. Guide means the starting point of the hair. And continue after creating this cutoff point. The hair point we will. You can also specify shorter if you want, longer if you want, as your own preference. You can determine the length yourself with your customer. We are here, our model is fuller. For your hair to be, I will determine one shortness according to him. And we will continue in that short. Just like that. Your hair. Reverse exits here. Here in 3 parts. Reverse exits on the neck. Based if you cut. It would be much, much better for you when you cut here. Then and when you blow dry or. So when you comb the hair. Lines here your hair. In shaping. Provides great influence. These. It will be much better if you cut it with your eyes. I also took these exits into account. I will check and cut accordingly. Here while cutting. Using my comb as a ruler and I cut it at an angle of 0 degrees. First I'll finger this comb 6. Sharp horse cutting technique we call one. I will apply with technique. This angle is 0 degrees. Yeah Berta yeah. You can also cut between fingers. But if you want to cut 0 degrees without any angle, so too, you definitely need to apply comb 6 hair cutting technique. Even when you cut it with a finger. You give one angle. Straight cut here. You think you did it, but even your finger. Light has 1 millimeter, one angle. You need to consider this too. Of course in wavy hair, according to the structure of the hair 100/100ths. We can't comb 6 haircuts. That's why you know straighter hair. Comb 6 according to the direction of exit of the hair. Combing. Here I cut according to the natural fall of the hair. Here using my comb like a ruler. I'm starting to conclude. I created a guide for myself from the middle part here. As you can see this guide. The left and right sides are the same. I will cut at the same level. My error rate is 0 here too. Because I use my comb like a ruler. Yes too. I'm going to the stage. I'm creating one horizontal distinction in Guinea. What a thick distinction here. How thin you can cut one way. Without making mistakes. When you progress gradually, hair is uniformly distributed. Either scissors nor scissors on the hair. Your rate of making mistakes is very low. Now we are giving an angle to the hair in the second level, friends. Here with my finger, I'll give you a 45-degree angle here. Horizontal 45-degree. I cut by creating an angle. To create this angle, Telugu, I scan by holding it from the bottom and according to our guide here, we see our guide cut at the bottom. As you can see. And I touch my little finger now. The angle here is 45 degrees. It's an angle, friends. Space here. I look from here, I see my guide and our guide. A beginning of the beginning. I cut it this size after seeing it. Here's a little bit of the nape of the hair. We are doing a folding process. This is your hair is more stingy fuller, and this. An expression we call bomb. To create it, a technical friend we applied. Combing the hair at its own angle. Looking down with my finger. I'm worth it after seeing this angle. I cut with sharp horse cutting technique. Here you are progressing gradually. I cut one from the right section. Now I will cut from the left section. Same way. I see my sword as you see from the bottom again, and I'm looking from the neck. I'm cutting. Because we made an angle cut here. We'll check again later, guys. After cutting, there may be slight lengths on the right and left. Repeat it. Use it as a ruler with a comb and a guide. I'm cutting. Now we are entering our third distinction, Guinea horizontal. We make a distinction. We will create one vertical distinction from the middle part, a guide. I always start from the middle part, friends, haircut, because this is my guide. We distribute our guide evenly. And here we are, because we are progressing gradually. Our rate of making mistakes is very low. My finger a guide. I touch it from the bottom and cut 45 holes horizontally. After creating, with sharp horse cutting technique, I'm cutting, I'm scanning. Here I see my guide from the bottom of it. Guide is very important, guys. You see with the guide here, I see the hair point I passed before like. My guide from here, I see my guide at the bottom. And your hair according to this guide. Scanning by direction of fall. I see my sword and I continue with the cut. I will do this in the same way on the right side. Head of our model. Thought after setting. Always while cutting hair here. With our model, we need to be on the same plane. We need to look in the same direction. I'm scanning. I see my guide from the bottom here. As you can see, this is also while cutting hair. If you get as much hair as your finger can, again, your rate of making mistakes will be very low. I'm scanning after seeing my guide. And I see my guide here from that Virgo point. And after seeing our guide below, again at an angle of 45 TL, I'm cutting. Now friends 3. After cutting our territory, we have passed the occipital regio. Here E. After opening the ledge, we have come to the top. In the E section here, we will add a little more volume to the hair. And E, we will apply a folding process. Here E, your hair. Both busy and E. To give a more beautiful one look, we also change our angle. Here we are applying horizontal 45 whole angles. When we get to this top, we will continue our haircut with vertical 45 whole angles. We give the head of our model forward light. Here we create one vertical distinction. From the neck again, after creating our separation, we take guide. According to this guide one, we will create a haircut. Yes friends, as you can see, E at the bottom of our previous cut. To the occipital area, we applied horizontal 45-degree angles. Now after moving to the occipital area, we continue our cutting with vertical 45-degree angles. Here is our guide E to the exit direction of the hair. While scanning here, hair my comb. E I place it at the bottom and, without playing it the way I placed it, I comb and here we see the direction of the hair coming out. After scanning this, after seeing our guide, creating a straight 45-degree angle, we continue our cut. As you can see here, I created a 45-degree angle. OT too many floors above, and lighter below one. E-arc formed. As you can see here, one light texture. So from the inside out one, we have done the folding process. Here E, we will cut the hair slice by slice with the technique of slicing. First slice, second slice. 3 as slice. Even for in my tongue. We will cut it on my tongue. I'm touching my comb. Here I see the stone point I cut before one. As you see my guide, we always follow our guide. And from the inside out, with the sharpening cutting technique, that is, with the straight scissors free, we continue our cut here. 90 degrees towards the exit direction of the hair one. I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. When I quit because I cut it lightweight. We create one haircut with curved and textured. One slice from the hair point we passed before. We take parts. He is our guide. Al for the front to be slightly long. Guinea this piece. A little further back, not according to the direction of hair exit. I will cut by scanning correctly. The previous guide. Compatible. I see my guide here. I'm catching a 45 TL angle. And I continue to cut. I'm scanning the same way a guy. 45 degrees by diagonal, one distinction from the bottom. I cut the right side now. I will go to the left side. Same way a guy. This is now so 5 minutes 10:10. It's a 15-minute job, but let's cut it off by telling, huh? Ha, thank you. Writing yes. A guy. One I get it from the hair point one cut before. As the second. I touch my comb on the skin of the hair and comb. I scan, and after seeing my guide at the bottom, I see a 45-degree angle. Here is the previous hair point, as you can see here. This is our guide, our starting point. This is our end point. As you can see, this hair on this line, we combine in the same way. Thanks from below. Now the process of folding this vertex. We applied the texture. Now on the side. E this diagonal E by creating one distinction. And slightly cross so diagonal one view. Cross to get one view. To achieve one hair design that grows forward. We go to the side. From this starting point, I create a diagonal one downwards. So I create a cross one distinction downwards. Horizontal a guy. Like the head of our model. Back and to the side. We give out here. Important factor. Hair. That's right ear. To come behind. Separating. Part from the bottom part from the top one way. Why am I doing this here? Friends, the ear bulge here. When I cut it properly one way. If I cut this ear bulge directly from the top like this. What would happen when I blow dry or when our customer uses it? One trapezoid will appear here. Could be. Because you have to adjust this angle accordingly. First from the back. Combing according to the direction of hair fall. We will determine our line, that is, we will determine our guide. Here's our coma guy. From a starting point here, we adjust according to the end point. This is how we tilt the head of our model to the side. Because when we give the angle here, we can work comfortably. Yes, as you can see here, light one downwards. Cross one angle formed, guys. The angle here is a 45-degree angle to the guinea. Creating this angle. And so from the starting point here, by the end point, we will continue here. We use our comb like a ruler. And you get one view that stretches slightly forward here. We will do the same on the right guy. As you can see from the bottom of the hair, I lift up. I'm scanning down. A cross separation from the starting point here. I cut the hair at an angle of 45 degrees. I comb the hair according to the fall of the hair. I'm scanning down. I'm creating one arc downwards, as you can see. And I keep cutting. Hair here. Using my comb as a ruler, we get one view that extends slightly forward. Ow, we're at the top, guys. The guinea on the hill is the same, and bulky and plump to get one look. This time again towards the exit direction of the hair. We will get one view that stretches forward at 45 degrees. Yes. Berta, yes. Friends, to get one heart stretching forward. Here is stage 1, second stage, and third stage 3. We will cut the top part of the step. Here we cut hair by combining. I touch my hair comb to the bottom of the hair and the exit directio. Scanning at a 90-degree angle. I'm scanning upwards. And here is the finger. As you can see, my hand forming a 45-degree angle. In 45 here, I'm creating a 90-degree angle. 90 degrees according to the place of hair. I also cut it at an angle of 45 degrees as a cut. Here we see our sword. OT the same way. We touch our comb of hair to the bottom of the hair here. E to make a flatter one E cut. And to determine the direction of output. Here is the direction of the hair. Your hair is not up and down. From the point our comb touched. Clear comb to adjust the output directio. We touch down. And we scan upwards. And in the process after this SCA. We see our guide as you see. The point we cut before. 90 degrees according to the direction of hair output, 90 degrees. 45 degrees as cut. Here is one angle of 45 degrees. Upwards. I'm cutting. I'm touching my comb according to the exit directio. I create one angle of 90 degrees. And after seeing our guide, 45 degrees 1. Inity 8 forming angle for 5-1. I'm applying a haircut. Out here guinea. E we will create one horizontal distinctio. After creating this horizontal separatio, according to the direction of hair, at an angle of 45 degrees, we will get one view that stretches forward. Friends, starting from the top, I'm creating one vertical distinction a guy. Here so I cut the first stage, I'm taking the second stage. I'm leaving a section here. I take our customer's head upright. And from here, one I get my guide from the point I cut before. You always need to get the guide, guys. If you proceed according to the guide, you never make mistakes. Touching my comb. And I scan upwards. I create a 90-degree angle according to the exit directio. And here after seeing my cover, I'm creating a 45-degree angle as you can see. 90 degree to 45 degree. And I get one piece here. From the point I cut again and I give our customer's head backwards. I'm scanning here, after touching it upwards. I see my guide, and at a 45-degree angle, I continue. Same guinea after cutting here. Starting with that joke girl one. We make the distinction, guys. And this month's episode is the same. Here 3 levels, 1, 2, 3, here 3 levels. 1 to 3, so we will cut them all into 3 sections. I'm scanning here. Here per our customer, per our hand model. We touch our comb, we comb upwards. And after seeing our guide, 45, we create a degree angle, 90 degree to 45 degree. We cut. I cut the first stage and bought one piece here. This will be my guide. And I'm taking part 2. I'm scanning. I see my guide from the beginning, and I cut it. And I get one piece here. I create a 90-degree angle according to the output of the hair. And from here I see my guide and cut it. Yes, from Guinea Hill. I'm creating a vertical separation. I'm touching here. I'm scanning. You see. I saw my guide like, and in accordance with my guide. I'm cutting. I'm buying one piece here. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. I'm touching, I'm scanning upwards. He's not his head like that, yeah. After adjusting the shower posture angle, I'm scanning upwards. As you can see, I saw our guide, and guide. I cut it appropriately at a 45-degree angle. I'm buying one piece here too. As the last stage. Again in this lower part and what we call our sweeping technique. I comb your hair in accordance with the natural direction of fall. The head of our model. I give it sideways. Starting from the nape part a guy. I'm scanning. As you can see, I have a guide here. Conveniently extending slightly downwards. To get a look. From short to long one view. Yes. I also apply the link. Bird. Guinea, the part we cut on the left, is the same way. We will apply it on the right side. I comb the hair according to its natural direction. We created the distinction here. The head of our customer's model. I'm setting. Taking into account the ear bulge over there. You can do it like this. If you want, you can cut it when you cut it like this. When you cut between fingers, make sure the ledge here. You have to take it into account that we cut it by touching it. Let's stop like this. I'm going to have a fight. It's over. Yes, friends, our model is like this, you see. Like the back. Layered, curved, forward, extending. One hair desig. Bob haircut, our bob haircut design that stretches forward.
To you today, one straight and smooth haircut with shaver. How to do it, I will explain it in detail. First, while cutting our model's hair, all straight in one way, we blow dry. After blowing, one comb bottom, one comb of hair on top. We lock from two sides. After locking, the shaver at 0 degrees. Bring it to the end point, to the point we will cut, and with a shaver, using our comb as a ruler, and we shave starting from the right. We will apply one straight cut. Very easy with this kind of operation. We can do straight one cut, but I would like to express it. When we make a straight one cut with a shaver, the ends of the hair will be fluffy and plump. One such haircut. If you are satisfied with you can make such a cut. Yes, it is also the easiest as a straight cut. One of the cuts made. This style is easy. Haircut where you can get fractures on the ends. Straight from the back with a razor. When viewed, you can get one straight image. If you want to get a haircut like this, in the description part of my video, reaching me from my social media addresses, coming to my hall, you can get a haircut. As you can see, comb first a comb. I compressed a comb from the bottom, and I brought it to the extreme of the shaver. 0 degree with no adjustment. And I cut it with a machine. Then again, I tilted our customer's head forward and the bottom one. I have also collected the little hair. Straight one haircut as you can see. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I will be with you with new videos. Hope to see you. Goodbye.
Welcome to the Depth Dive. Today, we're embarking on quite a fascinating journey, actually. We're looking into something that, many of us might just take for granted, but our sources reveal it's a true architectural marvel, the meticulous artistry behind designing a modern pixie haircut. Yeah, it's easy to think of a pixie cut as just, well, short hair, simple. But our mission today is to really uncover the incredible precision, the step-by-step thinking that transforms a simple snip into something dynamic, comfortable, and, truly chic. We've got this detailed guide that breaks down every single separation, every angle, every single cut. It shows us how all these tiny decisions build up to create this powerful, sculpted look.
Absolutely. And what's truly captivating here is the sheer amount of intentional structured thought that goes into what just looked like a straightforward short haircut. It's so much more than just removing length. It's really about strategically creating specific shapes, controlling volume exactly where you want it, and making sure there's a natural sort of effortless flow. We're going to pull back the curtain today and explore precisely how these seemingly small, intricate decisions all come together in the final, tailored aesthetic of a modern pixie. It's almost like watching an architect design a mini sculpture, but for someone's head.
Okay, let's unpack this blueprint then. Before a single strand is even cut, our guide really emphasizes the absolute necessity of meticulously dividing the hair. First up, a profile separation. Now, for those of us trying to picture this, what exactly does a profile separation look like?
Okay, yeah. Think of it like drawing a perfect center part. This separation runs from the very top of the forehead straight back all the way down to the nape of the neck. It's your initial central plumb line, really. Establishes the exact middle point of the head. And it provides a critical reference for symmetry throughout the entire cut. Without it, you're kind of building a house without laying the foundation first. Got it. Okay. The central line. Then the guide talks about a crucial horseshoe distinction. That sounds pretty specific. What does that achieve?
The horseshoe distinction is, well, pretty much what it sounds like is a U-shaped part. It starts just above the temples, curves around the crown of the head, and then connects back down towards the ears. Functionally, what it does is divide the hair into two main sections. You've got an upper section, usually longer, that'll form the top and front of the pixie. And then there's a lower, shorter section around the back and sides. This split is fundamental. It pre-segments the canvas, you see. It lets the stylist control volume and direction in each area independently.
Right, isolating areas. Exactly. So they can be sculpted with unique intent.
And finally, rounding out these foundational sections, we have this crown separation. Where does that fit in?
Okay, the crown separation. This one extends from the highest point where a comb would naturally rest on the back of the head. Essentially, it divides that upper horseshoe section even further into front and back portions. Our guide highlights its importance specifically for creating bulk and volume right at the very top of the head.
Ah, for that list.
Precisely. So if you want that coveted lift and body in your pixie, this separation is absolutely a non-negotiable step. These three initial separations, they aren't arbitrary at all. They are the architect's blueprint, meticulously dictating exactly where volume will live, how the hair will ultimately flow. It takes the guesswork right out of it.
It really does sound like a sculptural approach right from the very beginning. So with our blueprint firmly in place, where does the stylist make that very first cut? Our guide takes us right down to the nape of the neck. That's the foundation. It mentions establishing a straight, horizontal, sharp line using a precise scissor stroke. This sounds like setting a baseline, doesn't it? Like the first pencil mark on a design.
Absolutely, yeah. That straight, sharp line at the nape is your definitive starting point. It establishes the shortest length of the entire haircut. It gives a very clean, precise base from which all the other lengths will be built. It's the anchor of the pixie, ensuring the back is perfectly even and balanced right from the get-go.
Okay, now this next step really stood out to me in the guide. Immediately after making that sharp foundational line, the ends are softened using the point cutting technique. Literally pointing the scissor tips into the hair. Why introduce softness right after establishing such precision? What's this hard image our source says we're trying to avoid?
This is such a critical detail. It's kind of the stylist's secret weapon against what some people call helmet hair, that blunt, severe look. A straight cut, while it's precise, can create a very hard, blocky line, especially if the hair is thick. Point cutting immediately softens that definitive length. It's not really about making the hair shorter right then, but about creating texture and movement at the very ends.
Okay.
Think of the difference between like a fence post and a nicely feathered edge. This initial softening prepares the hair for a much more natural transition as the cut moves upwards. It ensures a wearable, organic flow right from that first snip instead of a heavy, severe bottom edge.
That makes perfect sense. So we've built the foundation at the nape. Now the guide moves us upwards to the occipital region, that lovely rounded back of your head. Here, it says hair is taken in sections, combed out at a 90-degree angle to its natural exit point from the head, and then cut using the nape hair as a guide. The guide also mentions a hair folding process here. Can you maybe demystify this for us?
Sure. The 90-degree angle and that folding process, they're essential for creating internal layering and building volume, particularly in the back of the head. Imagine the hair growing out from your scalp, right? If you just cut it flat against the head, it just lies flat. Pretty simple. But by lifting it out at a 90-degree angle and cutting it there, you're actually creating shorter pieces underneath the longer ones.
Ah, okay.
So when the hair falls back down, those shorter hairs act like internal scaffolding.
Yeah.
They push the longer hairs up and outward.
Right, giving it lift.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as for the folding process, it's actually a really clever layering technique. Instead of just chopping straight across the section, you're literally folding sections of hair, holding them, and then cutting across that fold. This creates a really soft, graduated internal layer. It encourages natural volume and movement, and crucially avoids any blunt, heavy lines. It's all about building body and movement into the cut, preventing the hair from just lying flat against the head.
Okay, so we've built up the back, created that essential volume and the softer base. Now the challenge is seamlessly extending that structure around to the sides, right, at ear level, to keep that cohesive flow. Our guide instructs us to create vertical separations and to continue the cut step by step, always using the previously cut hair as a guide.
Yes, and that continuous use of a guide is absolutely paramount. It ensures that the transition from the back to the sides is perfectly seamless. It prevents any harsh lines or disconnected sections. Imagine trying to paint a mural without constantly looking back at your initial sketch, right?
Right.
The guide isn't just a static point. It's a moving reference that the stylist continually creates and refers back to. It ensures the entire cut stays balanced and precisely shaped. This consistency is just key for a professional, polished finish.
Our guide then moves to the left side of the head. It says they take a thin curtain of hair as a guide from the already cut back section, then progress with vertical slices. Is this curtain just another term for the guide you were talking about?
Precisely, yes. That thin curtain is just a more descriptive way of illustrating how the stylist takes a very precise, narrow section of the hair they've already cut in the back. This becomes the exact length and shape reference point. Then, working with vertical slices, so taking thin sections of hair vertically from the scalp, the stylist meticulously matches the new hair to that curtain guide. This ensures a perfectly integrated look, and then the same meticulous process is just applied to the right side, forming another curtain guide with vertical separations.
Okay.
It's all about building on what's already established and carrying that design principle right around the head.
All right, now we move to the crown and the top sections. This is often where the magic of a pixie really comes alive, isn't it? Where you get that dynamic, lifted look. After establishing that initial crown separation, the upper hair is combed out at a 90-degree angle according to its exit place, just like we discussed for the back. But here, our guide states they apply a folding process again, combined with something called a straight truss service with sharpening cutting technique and a dot cutting technique.
Wow, that sounds like a masterclass in texture. Can you break down those technical terms?
It does sound intense, doesn't it? This combination of techniques on the crown is absolutely where significant volume and texture are built into the pixie, creating that lift everyone wants. So we already talked about the 90-degree angle and the folding process for volume. Now, this straight truss service with sharpening cutting technique, that's a very technical term, right?
Yeah. Essentially, this refers to creating very precise, strong internal support for the hair. Often by cutting at specific angles into the strand itself. It's like building hidden scaffolding, you could say. It gives the hair its shape and bounce from within, making it naturally sit and move beautifully without loads of product.
Okay, internal structure.
Exactly. And dot cutting technique is simply another term for point cutting, which we discussed earlier. But here it's applied within these diagonal slices they're taking. This ensures the transition between the different lengths is incredibly soft and organic, rather than blunt or stepped. It's all about making the hair appear thicker, fuller, more dynamic. It allows it to be styled with movement and bounce, not just lie flat.
It sounds like a complex symphony of cuts, really. Moving to the very front now, our guide details creating a vertical separation in the middle part, lifting hair upward and cutting, making sure the middle, left, and right front sections are equalized. It also notes, interestingly, that this might initially leave long sections forming on the right and left sides.
Yes, and this highlights a really crucial aspect of professional haircutting. It's iterative. It's very rarely just one clean pass and you're done. You create an initial shape, and then you strategically go back to refine, blend, and balance everything out. The upward cutting in the front is specifically designed to create lift, and it allows for versatility and styling. Think about how you might want to wear bangs or sweep the front hair to the side. It ensures the hair doesn't just lie flat against the forehead.
Right.
And acknowledging those temporary longer sections just demonstrates a deep understanding of how the cut progresses, how all the parts will eventually integrate into a cohesive whole, creating that final, seamless, sculpted look.
Okay, so our deep dive then addresses those very long sections left on the sides from the previous step. The guide describes meticulously balancing these, creating vertical divisions, fitting them to the brevity of the lower part, and using point cutting again for a light folding process and equalizing lengths.
Oh,
Can we just clarify brevity of the lower part? What does that actually mean in practice?
that's an excellent question. Brevity of the lower part is, it's a bit of a clunky phrase, isn't it? It probably comes from a very technical source document, maybe a translation. What it really means is fitting those longer side sections to the shorter length of the hair that's already been cut in the underlying sections, near the ears and nape.
Ah, blending down.
Exactly. So you're gradually blending the longer hair from the top down into the existing short hair around the ears and the nape area. The point cutting here, combined with that light folding process, is all about texturizing the ends. This makes sure the transition is super soft and integrated. It prevents any abrupt, harsh lines as the hair moves from longer on top to shorter on the sides.
And the guide mentions repeating this process, gradually climbing the hill, as it calls the sides of the head, using both horizontal and vertical divisions. Then, to prevent a harsh image in the front parts, point cutting is applied again, specifically in these hill parts, by zigzagging the ends of the hair. This sounds like the ultimate blending step.
It absolutely is. This detailed blending and refinement is just crucial for achieving that truly modern aspect of the pixie cut. It ensures a soft, integrated look where all parts of the haircut flow together harmoniously. The point cutting here isn't just about softening anymore. It's about texturizing the ends, which enhances the hair's natural movement and prevents that often dreaded helmet-like appearance that you can sometimes get with less refined shortcuts.
The helmet head, right.
Yeah. The zigzagging technique further breaks up any bluntness, allowing the hair to fall naturally and beautifully with a sense of airy movement. It's this meticulous detail that separates a good pixie from a truly exceptional one.
Okay, finally, after all the main cutting is done, our guide mentions a thinning treatment. This is applied to the hair ends with a file and scissor. Now, when our guide says file and scissor, what specific tools are we talking about here? It's not suggesting we use like a nail file, is it?
Huh. No, definitely not a nail file. Good clarification. When the guide says file and scissor, it's referring to specialized thinning shears. These have notched blades, you see. Or sometimes stylists might even use a razor comb. These tools are designed to remove bulk strategically and subtly. It's almost like feathering the ends rather than cutting a solid line like regular scissors. The guide explicitly states this thinning isn't haircutting in the traditional sense.
Right.
It's more of a softening process. Its purpose is to mitigate any remaining harsh image, any bluntness or heaviness that might still linger from the straight scissor strokes. And it helps ensure a more homogeneous transition of the layers, promoting that natural, airy flow we've been talking about.
So what does this all mean for the final look and feel?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, that thinning process is the ultimate refinement. It's the final polish that really elevates the haircut. It's all about creating internal movement and strategically reducing bulk, especially if someone has thicker hair, to achieve a finish that's natural, dynamic, and importantly, comfortable. It allows the layers that have been cut to truly fall into place, promoting that sought-after fluffiness and ease of styling that makes a pixie feel effortless and wearable day to day.
Making it easy to live with.
Exactly. It's about comfort and aesthetics intertwining beautifully. It ensures the cut moves with you rather than just sitting there rigidly.
Wow. What an incredible journey through precision and artistry. From that initial profile separation, the architect's first line, as you said, all the way to the final thinning process with those specialized shears, it is crystal clear that designing a modern pixie haircut is far, far more than just, a quick short snip We've really seen how every single step, from ensuring those specific 90-degree angles to applying meticulous point cutting and folding techniques, contributes to creating a look that's short, dynamic, beautiful, and ultimately truly comfortable. Our source really emphasizes how easy such a well-constructed cut is to wash, wear, and style daily. That's a huge plus.
It really is. And this raises an important question, I think, for you, the listener. Does understanding this level of intricate detail, this hidden structure, change how you perceive what might seem like a simple haircut? It truly isn't just about the length, is it? It's about an intentional, sculpted form that offers both aesthetic appeal and profound practical comfort in daily life. It's a design that genuinely works with your hair and lifestyle.
It really does showcase the architectural thinking, doesn't it? The spatial awareness that goes into something many of us might simply take for granted when we see a great haircut walking down the street. It's like this invisible structure that creates visible magic.
Absolutely. So the next time you see a beautifully executed pixie cut, maybe take a second to consider the intricate geometry, the thoughtful stages, the deliberate techniques that went into creating it. It's a powerful testament to how even the smallest details contribute to a powerful, practical, and incredibly attractive aesthetic.
A design, our source proudly says, that offers a completely new, confident silhouette, especially perhaps for those transitioning from longer styles. It's a real statement of style and self-assurance. Thanks so much for diving deep with us today. We really hope you gained a whole new appreciation for the craft and the hidden architecture of a great haircut.
Hello friends, welcome to our channel. I'm with you with one new video. Gradient to you today, Bob Haircut Design. I will explain in detail how it is done. I first create our basic distinctions. First, a separate profile distinction. How do I create profile separation? To the beginning of the forehead, straight line in one stripes. To the distinction we have reserved until the end of the neck. We say profile separation. Crown separation in Division 2. Crown separation is also 2 eyebrows, 2 ears apart, 1. The distinction we have separated from ear to ear. We call crown separation. With this distinction, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. So profile separation and crown separation hair automatically 4. We separate the main part. We make this distinction first. When creating a distinction, because we will form the basis of the bob distinction here. From the bottom of every distinction, I'm creating one horizontal distinction. After creating the distinction on the right and left sides, as you can see again, here, I clearly state with lines. After creating this separation, we will cut the basic length of the hair. In this distinction, after cutting hair length, without creating any mistakes, is your right side short? Is your left side long? It's like it happened, we eliminate the problems. First, we determine the length of the hair. Here is our E-guide hair length. From the middle part of the hair, from the neck, we want to see. Creating a distinction. The first distinction is a distinction where we will determine the length of the hair, as you can see here. Starting from the middle part, we will cut the other parts to the same size. We will start from the nape part, and when I come to the front parts, light 1 horizontal at an angle of 45 TL. Short to forward 1A. We will continue our haircut with an angle. As you can see here, with the sharp horse cutting technique. With straight scissor stroke, I continue our haircut. After crossing to the left, we use our comb as a ruler. The hair point we cut before, aligning comb with 6 haircut technique. We cut straight one way. If you want here, you can also cut it straight in one way. If you want, it's a little lighter to make the front a little longer. Horizontal 1 distinction, exhibiting a horizontal 1E grip. one slightly forward at a slightly 45-degree angle. We can get in view. If you want the light front to be long here, comb a little horizontally in one way. Then we can make it look longer one by holding. After cutting here, the left side is the same as the right side. Here to prevent the protrusion of the ear, so I scan it backwards, separating it from the middle part of the ear. Lightweight, and prevent the protrusion of the ear here, you know, your hair, to prevent it from being crooked. After separating, my comb is slightly forward again, a slightly curved shape. Holding it so I don't cut it straight, to provide a slightly forward-looking one. Light 1E monthly. With comb grip. Light forward. To provide one extending appearance. I hold it at that angle and I continue my cut here light. Comb with a slight 45-degree diagonal separation. Diagonale ignite combe. I cut after holding it the same way. And the front of the light hair gets a longer one look. As you can see here, I create the second distinction. After cutting the basic structure of the hair, I'm creating the horizontal separation again in the second stage. Here I am creating one distinction from the middle again. And after creating a distinction, I will create a horizontal 45-degree angle. I'm combing the hair here. I'm looking from the bottom, seeing the hair point I cut before. Then, lifting slightly upwards horizontally, holding at 1E angle. I apply cut. This angle is kept here. Horizontal is a 45-degree angle. Again in the same way, one. The next section in the same way. Again with the sniper cutting technique. I continue my haircut with straight scissors blow. The hair I cut as a guide in the middle. The left and right sides are the same. I continue by cutting guinea 2, 1. I'm creating a distinction here. I'm creating horizontal distinctions. You too. My video, like and express your thoughts in the comments. I want friends. If you like my video and if you also share your social media address, we will reach many people. The second distinction. Guinea this time, guinea horizontal 45-degree angle. By following the hair point we passed before, I continue our haircut. I cut the first and second steps at a horizontal 45-degree angle. In the videos section of my channel, videos available in many categories. You can also watch these videos, guys. Haircut coloring. Keratin hair care. Ombre sombre. Blonde hair opening. Many services such as painting. You can find it in the videos section of my giant channel. And if you want to get a haircut service from me, my channel, 3 social media addresses are available in the description section. By reaching my hall from here, haircut service. And you can also get other hairdressing services. After cutting this length, our model wanted her neck to be a little shorter. That's why we're still the same Shortened in the section I told you by shortening now 3. We went to the section. Here, a 3. Guinea horizontal, yeah, because we came to the top in the section. Exiting E from 45 whole angle. Vertical this time. I created one distinction here, vertical 45s. We will create an angle, guys, and cut from there. As you can see here, we cut it before, from the hair point. Creating a vertical 45-degree angle. I create a vertical 45-degree angle and I keep cutting hair. This is one angle that we describe as vertical 45 degrees. The hair point we cut before, well, after seeing it as a guide. With vertical separations, create the 45-degree angle. We continue our gravitation bob cutting here. I cut it in the middle here and I cut the left side. And the left side, backside of 3 main sections. 3 vertical, by creating separations slice by slice. The at 45-degree angle. I continue our haircut. After cutting this section, after cutting at 45-degree angle, as you can see, I look at the middle part and check. And so 45 quarter angle again. We continue our cut. What? Here from the back, because there is a slight length on the front, I equated it with the length of your hair. Any now. From our first distinction on the left. Comb again after separating. With our comb. Slightly forward. I'm scanning. Our comb. Yes. As you can see, the back of the hair is dyed. Using our comb like a ruler. Straight one way. I'm cutting. Here is a light one forward length, friends. Not straight our comb. You can also keep it slightly horizontal to look longer. Here we use our comb as a ruler. We continue our haircut, friends. Likewise on the right. I scan properly and one hair point we cut before as a guide. I continue my haircut. Here is the comb 6 haircutting technique. As you can see, I saw the previous haircut point. Under my comb and flush, I continue the haircut. I combed my comb properly with a warm comb, and I aligned the hair with the hair point I had cut before. After aligning, I continued cutting. I'm checking a little here. Sometimes here according to the fall of hair. I cut according to the fall of the hair. Sometimes hair can be worn. After checking to see if there is an error at the bottom, we will continue our process, guys. Now, friends, we determined our cut, the model of the hair. I switched to the personalization EE section here. Friends, so that there is no hard-won image on the ends of the hair. Me starting from the neck again with green scissors. Step by step. I'm doing thinning. Here I apply it to the ends of the hair. Before the bottom of the hair, do your hair with unbreakable scissors. Starting from the middle part, as you can see from the end parts. Apply thinning process. In the process I did here. More homogeneous distribution of the haircut. And to avoid scissors, thinning with fine scissors. I'm doing the procedure on the ends of the hair. Here by separating the hair gradually with thin slices. Thinning the ends of the hair. Here and done work. In the process we have done. You may have gotten the density of the hair too. So we may have, if your model complains about the density of the hair, with this kind of operation, you can get the hoage density just by thinning it. But if you don't want one hard image on the ends of the hair, here, with the same process you can soften the ends of the hair. To make transitions look healthier. End parts. By thinning process, we can soften it with this kind of thinning process. We make sure that your transitions are one more beautiful image. Here, we will give a slight movement to the front parts of the hair. Friends, I divide the hair in half, so I'm recreating the profile distinction. Here from the end of my eyebrow, E1. Yuri from the point where my comb touched by starting. I will create one distinction that we call a null forehead motif. Move the hair from the front part. We make our distinction. I'm going to give a little movement in front of the hair here, so I'm doing some folding. But from this point we have separated, so we will make a move from the section we reserved. To throw a light coat in the front, I divided the hair in half. To cut the E section on my client's left side, I'm going to the right side. And towards chin level 1, I cut a 45-degree month by determining an angle, and after cutting the left side, I go to the left side to cut the right side. I mean, which hungry side I'm going to cut, I go to the opposite part of it, and I continue to cut. I hope you found my video nice. My advice to you, I would be very pleased if you like my video. And I would be very pleased if you subscribe to my channel. And a new feature has been opened on YouTube, Whip feature. After liking this video, whip directly to this video. 3. There will be a section to do it usually, when you do it from the phone, not the computer. Me when you hype here too. The glass ball of my video, it goes up to the top. Thanks to you. So we will reach many people. Your likes and comments are very important to us. Thanks to you, we reach many people. I mention this in every video because likes and comments. It changes the magic of the video so much. So like my video and subscribe to my channel. I would be much more pleased if you watch. As you can see here, hair. I scanned, and after reaching nose level, from the inside out at an angle of 45 degrees again. At an angle of 45 degrees. I cut. So I checked. This hair point we cut. With a file scissors on the front. I thin it with a light pictus technique. To make a better fall. Yes, friends, our haircut is over. Our model is like this. One view more curved from the back. So one design we call gradation bob. If you want to make one such design, if you want to make one model like this, from my social media addresses in the description section of my video, reaching me, coming to my hall, you can get one haircut like this. You can get service from me, guys. I hope you like my e-model. Hope to see you for now. Take good care of yourself. I wish you a good day.
How to do a medium blunt haircut for you today. I will explain in detail. I'm creating the first profile separation in your hair. From the middle part, starting up to the nape part. The straight separation we have separated, we say profile separation. Then I create a crown separation. Crown separation from one ear to one straight with the other ear. We say crown separation, friends. After creating this distinction, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. Then starting a haircut. One straight that I have separated from the nape part to the oxygen area. There is one horizontal distinction. I make this distinction and cut the length of the hair. The size I will cut here is our guide. And the basic length of the hair, 2 after friends cut this length. Using our comb as a ruler. 1 of our previous hair length as a guide. I cut the back part of the same size. The basic size we cut in this size. Aligning all levels, creating horizontal separation. We continue your haircut. Here properly comb our comb. I comb the hair according to the natural direction of fall of the hair. Sharp horse cutting technique. Using our comb as a ruler, specific one, by guiding the hair point we cut before. Straight our hair 1, we cut on line. After cutting the back, the left and right sides are the same. We will equal the hair length we cut on the back. If you want to get a haircut like this, social media in the description part of the video, my addresses will be available. by reaching my hall from there. You can get haircut service and other hairdressing services. Our place is in Istanbul, Beylikdüzü. By appointment, you can come to my salon and get a haircut service. Here, after cutting the back part of our hair length, I come to the left side of the hair and the other part I reserved. In 2 levels. The hair size we cut on the back as a guide. The left side is also flat 1. I cut it into a line and straight 1 view to sharp line cutting technique. To get, I apply 1 straight cut. After cutting this section in 2 stages. After cutting the left side section, I go to the right side. I'm cutting this place in 2 stages. Stage 1. Cutting helps the hair to disperse more homogeneously. And it helps the hair to get a better 1 look. Here again, between fingers. Applying straight and sharp line cutting technique. With straight scissor strokes. 1, I cut the previous point as a guide. Front of the hair. I separated it from the eyebrow levels to accelerate the tissue. In the front, from the eyebrow level with our comb from the eye point of 2 eyebrows E.
Tarağımızla
By creating a purchase motif.
oluşturarak
Front of the
saçın ön
hair.
kısmına
I give
doku
texture and to get a
kazandırıyor ve
folded 1
katlı
look.
bir görünüm elde etmesi için
With
45
45-degree
açılar
angles,
ile
I'm
saç
applying a
kesimi
haircut.
uyguluyorum.
With these
Bu 45
45-degree
açılarla
angles, I apply
saçın ön
folding
kısımlarına
process to the front
katlandırma
parts of the
işlemi
hair
uyguluyorum ve
and helps
daha
it look more
hareketli
mobile.
görünmesine yardımcı oluyor.
This is
Bu da
100 lines of
saçın
hair,
yüz
100 lines.
hatlarına, yüz hattının
Softening
ters
hard
köşelerini
corners
yumuşatarak
helps to
daha
get more oval
oval
1
bir
image.
görüntü elde etmesine yardımcı oluyor.
You are
Sizler
this
de
style
bu
1.
tarz bir saç
If you
kesimi
want to get a
yaptırmak
haircut,
isterseniz
in the
videomun
description part of my
açıklamasındaki
video, you can
sosyal
reach me
medya
on my social media
adreslerinden bana
addresses.
ulaşabilirsiniz.
You can get
Salonuma
a
direkt
haircut
saç
service by
kesim
going to my
hizmeti
salon.
alabilirsiniz.
Don't forget to
Videomu
like my
beğenmeyi
video and
ve
subscribe to my
kanalıma
channel.
abone olmayı unutmayın.
I will be
Yeni
with you
videolarla
with new
sizlerle
videos.
olacağım.
Hope to see
Görüşmek
you.
dileğiyle.
Hello friends, today, Bob Haircut Design, I will explain in detail how to do this *E hair is divided into 4 main sections. First, profile separation, then the coronation, after creating a coronation asterisk, creating 2 distinctions from the back asterisk, and we will form the basis of your profile E haircut E first. As a basis, first E, starting from the left side. I created 1 sleeveless, and in accordance with this cover EI, determined your hair length, and then gradually moving it upwards, both folded asterisk E. Bob haircut cut at 45-degree angles 1. I will create a bob haircut. First, I created the basic separations. As you can see, after cutting the foundation, EEE, after cutting his neck, this size asterisk, we will set as a guide asterisk 1 way in accordance with this guide. We will continue our cutting second stage. From the left side asterisk, I continue as 1 left 1 right asterisk E diagonal, 1 at an angle of 45 degrees in accordance with the sword I cut at the bottom asterisk. And I keep building floors asterisk. As you can see, I created an angle of 45 degrees. Asterisk E diagonal by asterisk. I created an angle, and it fits the sleeve at the bottom asterisk E. I continue cutting at an angle of 45 degrees asterisk, and following my cover 1 from the hair point, I cut before an E with the sharpening cutting technique. I apply the cut and graduation on the back of the hair toe, create the appearance. I'm applying a folding process asterisk, so at a 45-degree angle with cross separations asterisk E. I keep cutting asterisk, as you can see here, horizontal 1, E asterisk separation process. Here I'm creating a cut here, horizontal E. As you can see here, when I cut the floors asterisk, we are completed, and the horizontal here is 45 degrees asterisk. We have created an angle. Because it is horizontal, according to output direction, then I adapt, and before asterisk, after. Seeing the hair point I cut, I keep cutting, then 3, asterisk, I'm going to the level. As you can see, there is also guinea eye created a diagonal 1 distinction, and I cut it, then 1 asterisk my sheath at the hair point. I cut before saw and cut on the same plane. I continued asterisk here. I came to the highest point after the 3rd level asterisk, and still the same height. I finished cutting. Now we keep on cutting asterisk after cutting the left side. The right side is also creating cross separations. So by creating diagonal distinctions asterisk, I keep making sure I created a cross separation here. I saw my hair guide that I had cut before and end in a cross way. So at a 45-degree angle asterisk, let's continue. Cutting from top to bottom asterisk, I start cutting from above. I see my guide in a cross way. I cut it and cut it after seeing the 45-degree angle, and folded to the bottom. I continue by adapting. My floors, yes, after cutting this part E asterisk, we cut the back. Part guys, E we do the height and E folding process. Then I'll go to the front E. After finishing the cut, this process after doing it. Cross 1 distinction on the front. Again asterisk, I create 1 horizontal distinction, and after creating this horizontal separation, I see my guide in the back asterisk combing hair backwards in the same plane I cut it the same size when I scan slightly backwards asterisk. Front of the hair is a little longer. Its 1 view back part extends slightly from the back to the short front 1E. There will be hair design as you can see here, E. If you want a flatter look, if you want a blunt look horizontal in the same plane asterisk, by creating a distinction, E using the ruler on the back again, E. We can cut it straight asterisk, but if you want the front to be a little longer, asterisk scanning. Backwards E, the front of the hair is longer when you cut it. There will be 1 shorter image behind, if you apply it like this asterisk E. If the front is long and the back is short, there will be 1 image. E when I see the point, I create a horizontal distinction and E piece by scanning backwards E with the hair point. I cut before, so I equate each other asterisk as you can. See asterisk, yes. Here again the same horizontal 45-degree angles E. I continue by preserving C. You soon, yes, I scanned it backwards here too. And after seeing the 45 lira angle asterisk, I keep making sure here to check some. I continue on the same plane asterisk, then the peak and the floors asterisk, I make a vertical distinction in the same way asterisk. Cut it at an angle of 45 degrees asterisk. Yes, I cut from workout here, I created a 45-degree deficit, and I made my cut here. You comb your hair backwards asterisk. It's more curved when we blow dry. So engraving, we will have the look hair length of our model from the front asterisk after. Determining the hair separation. Now E distinction to the left side. We have seen that left side separation to the front asterisk E light. 1 E. We will add texture asterisk here. After creating a diagonal end parts. Little light again. I'm applying a folding process. I'm separating slices. Here, after cutting the first slice from the hair point, I cut before I'm getting an equalizing asterisk. I cut also in my 3rd slice after. Seeing my guide forward, I cut it diagonally with the scroll technique. After cutting the front part, I asterisk, I'm checking and picking up the ends. Yes, asterisk, as you can see my side here. Using it as a ruler EE. E behind the hair for a smoother image asterisk E, and I cut it with a straight scissor stroke asterisk. I will blow dry after cutting and after the blow dry light hair. Again asterisk, I will apply the personalization. Process hair here E, yes I blow. Dry on the back, I'm looking again. E, I continue with the personalization. Process here is your hair at the bottom. If there are errors and protrusions, do them properly. E, I'm packing with scissors, yes, and cut the hair at an angle of 45 degrees. Again, E.1 soften the ends of the hair with the cutting technique, yes. You can also call it point cutting technique here. Cross her hair, you know. It's not vertical. It's a slight cross to Guinea E. Between the touches and the hair E. Then applying scissor blows, we soften the hard image. Yes here asterisk vertical second stage. Vertical, 1 E to the ends of the hair. E, point cutting and pectas technique asterisk E. I apply softening process asterisk with pictus. Technique on 3 parts of the scissors passing of hair. By applying softening process we make it softer here on the back floors to get smoother transitions asterisk. Applying the pectas. Technique we make the hair pass. Greetings. You too, if you want to make one cut like this in the description of the video asterisk. My social media addresses will be available, see you here. Reaching out with me asterisk from my social media. Addresses in the description section of my video reaching. You can come to my salon and get a haircut service. I'm working by appointment, see you soon asterisk, yes. Appointment by reaching social media addresses. You can get Yes Bob Haircut asterisk Pixie, haircut layered haircut, and other hairdressing services. Asterisk, you can get Amber Retouch Honey. We also have coloring service like Brush Like Yes. As you can see here, comb I combed back, and the hair I equate with the point cutting technique. Asterisk, yes. As you can see, the front is long short back and folded. Our Bob haircut service is okay asterisk. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel asterisk. See you soon.
Welcome back to the deep dive. If you've ever, watched a truly flawless bob haircut and just wondered how they get that perfect geometric precision, well, you're definitely in the right place today. We are doing a deep dive into the methodology for a very specific cut, the forward elongated layered bob.
Oh.
You sent over this incredibly technical guide. It treats hair less like hair and more like an architectural blueprint, really. So our mission today is to unpack all that geometry, figure out every precise measurement, angle, technique, Basically how you get those long front sections while keeping the back perfectly graduated and, well, volumized correctly.
And that focus on geometry is absolutely key. This isn't just about being good with scissors. It's about systematically controlling weight, elevation, movement. The real value here is seeing how predictable results, the kind you can reproduce, they depend entirely on meticulous setup. Getting those foundational angles right. You have to respect the process, perfect divisions before you even think about cutting.
Yeah, okay, that sounds like a challenge right there. Let's start at the beginning then. Establishing the blueprint. You mentioned precision. How intense is this setup? What are these foundational divisions?
Right, so it starts at the absolute center. That's the profile separation. Perfectly straight line, running from the start of the forehead all the way down the back to the nape. That establishes your central axis. Think of it as your plumb line for balance.
Got it, the center line. But the real drama, the visual part of this cut, that happens up front, right? How do we mark that off? The part that determines the longest piece.
Ah, okay. That's defined by the triangle form. You start high at the crown, the tepia noctasa, and draw a triangular separation forward. And the source is very specific here. The base of this triangle has to extend precisely to the end of the eyebrows.
Wait, hold on. A triangle from the crown to the end of the eyebrow. That sounds, I don't know, kind of specific, maybe a bit arbitrary. Why that exact point? Is there a risk you're trying to avoid by being that precise?
It's not arbitrary at all, actually. It's all about proportion. That specific boundary makes sure the front section, the bit that frames the face later, connects properly to the side panels. If that triangle's too narrow, you lose that dramatic forward swing. Too wide.
Ah, okay.
Then the whole side layer can look disconnected from the back. It messes up the transition we're aiming for. So yeah, that measurement gives you the right face framing perimeter.
That makes a lot more sense. It controls the drama, basically.
Yep. Okay, so center line check, frontal length defined by the triangle, check.
Yeah.
What's the last big separation?
The last main one is the crown separation. That's your classic ear-to-ear division. This isolates the entire front, including that triangle we just made from the back section. And that's where we actually start building the foundation. Once the front's clipped away, the back section itself gets divided again, usually into 3 main vertical sections.
Right, and the guide mentioned using the back of the comb for those vertical divisions. Can you just quickly clarify that? It sounds like a small detail, but maybe important for structure. Oh yeah, definitely. When guides mention using the back of the comb, they mean using the tool's standard width for consistency. You lay the comb flat against the head, and its width becomes your repeatable measure for drawing those next vertical lines. It just ensures those 3 back sections are perfectly symmetrical, equal width. It sounds tedious, I know.
A bit, yeah.
But it's absolutely key for controlling how the hair moves, how the graduation builds up later. Meticulous, but necessary.
Okay, so the geometry's set, the blueprint is drawn. Where do we finally pick up the scissors? Let's get into segment 2, building that foundation.
Right, the foundation work begins deep down at the nape of the neck, the ents. You start with a really precise horizontal separation. And this is where you cut your guide section, your clavus.
Okay, the guide. And the source called the technique comb under, using straight scissor strikes. This sets the overall length, right?
Exactly. That initial length is your crucial foundation, the temel. But, and this is important, the very next layers are immediately cut in a graduated way, catameli.
Okay. Why, though? Couldn't you just do a blunt cut there at the bottom and then layer everything above it? Why graduate right away in that lowest section? Is it just about the shape?
This is where it gets really interesting. It's almost entirely about controlling volume, structural volume. The source is super clear on this. Cutting graduated layers right away ensures the hair distributes homogeneously, evenly. The main benefit they cite is preventing that unwanted swelling or puffiness, what the text calls kabarma, right down in those foundational lower areas.
So it stops the bob from flaring out at the base. It forces the weight to sit nicely against the neck.
Precisely. Think of it like laying bricks carefully so the weight is distributed internally. So right after setting that initial length, the next bottom layers get layered using a slight 45-degree angle, and it's applied inwards from inside to outside. That 45-degree angle isn't random. It's our geometric constant. It defines the pitch of the layering, and that's what ensures the volume control.
That 45-degree constant. Yeah, okay. Holding on to that. Because now we get to segment 3, which is really the star, achieving that dramatic forward elongation. The whole point of the style is that smooth shift from the graduated, controlled back to the, well, significantly longer front.
And this brings up the core challenge, really, of this whole technique. How do you actually make hair fall forward and longer when you're working on the sides and the back sections?
Yeah, and the technique described sounds, well, completely counterintuitive.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
First, okay, for that crucial transition from back to side,
Yeah.
you use a diagonal separation that physically isolates the pieces you need to keep longer. You use the length from the guide layer below.
Yeah.
That's prep.
Mm-hmm.
But the real magic, the structural trick, happens in the upper back and side sections.
Right, this is technique 3, the critical reverse comb.
Yeah.
The instructions literally say you comb the hair backwards away from the face, and then you cut it at that 45-degree angle.
Yep.
Okay, but why on earth would you comb hair backwards if you want it to fall forwards and be longer near the face? If I were just, winging it, I'd pull the hair forward and cut the angle that way. What's the physics here? Why cut in the opposite direction?
That is the genius of this specific method. See, if you pulled it forward and cut, you'd likely get quite strong, maybe even blunt layers right near the face.
Yeah.
It could look choppy when the hair moves. By combing it backwards, elevating it to 45 degrees, you're playing with the hair's tension and its natural release. Think about the individual strands. The hair closest to the face, the bit you want longest, it has the furthest distance to travel when you comb it all the way back, say, towards the ear area of the back division line. So when you cut it at that 45-degree angle, while it's pulled back under tension, the hair near the face is only just caught by the scissors. It's stretched the most.
So, when you let go, release the tension, the hair falls back naturally, and the strands that traveled the furthest, the front ones, spring back and end up being the longest.
Precisely. It's like an optical illusion, but it's pure geometry. It's based on how far each strand is dragged before you make the cut. It guarantees the shape is shorter in the back and then smoothly elongates towards the front. That kazadan uzunadoru bir kavis. It creates that specific, beautiful curve, that Covesly shape, without making the front pieces excessively long or creating a harsh, obvious angle. It controls the slope, if that makes sense.
It does. That distinction feels crucial. The backward comb isn't just making it long, it's creating a smooth curve because you're leveraging the cut from that point of highest tension. Tension and release achieve the soft transition.
Okay, you nailed it. And the sides. They're treated very similarly to keep that flow going. The left and right side panels, you cut them following the natural fall initially, but then crucially, the higher layers, second, third layers, you take them fully, comb them backwards towards that center back line.
Backwards again,
and cut at that same geometric 45-degree angle. This makes sure that continuous forward elongation just flows seamlessly right from the back graduation.
Okay, wow. So once that core structure is built, graduated back, reverse combed elongated sides, we're on to segment 4. Connecting the top. How do we make sure the crown layers blend everything together without wrecking that perfect curve we just built?
Good question. The final step is all about connecting that structure, specifically layering the crown area, the tepe naktasa. We actually go back to that central vertical separation we made right at the start in the front section.
Ah, the one inside the triangle.
Exactly.
And what angle do we use here to finish it off, to tie the back graduation to the front elongation?
So you take a final vertical section right in the center of that front triangle, you lift the hair, and you cut it using our reliable constant. A final, precise 45-degree angle connecting to the length already established. This last cut just ensures you get the necessary layering right there at the crown. It blends the whole structure up and over the head, completing that layered forward elongated form. It gives you that continuous line from the shortest point at the nape right up to the longest point near the chin or jaw.
This whole deep dive has totally reframed how complex this style is, even though it can look kind of simple. Okay, so for you, the listener, let's recap the absolute core takeaways from this method. First, that 45-degree angle is just indispensable, isn't it? It's doing so much work. The basic graduation, the layering, and maybe most importantly, the volume control, preventing that puffiness down low.
Absolutely. And second, you absolutely have to remember the most counterintuitive part, which is also maybe the most essential. Combing those upper and side layers backwards.
Yeah.
The reverse direction combined with the 45-degree angle, that's the geometric trick. That's what creates the smooth, continuous forward curve, the signature elongation.
Yeah.
Without that specific tension and release,
Yeah.
you just get a shelf, not that nice soft slope.
It's definite proof, I think, that a truly perfect cut needs more than just good hands. It needs a really deep understanding of geometry and how hair actually behaves under tension.
Indeed. Which leaves us with maybe a final provocative thought for you to consider. Given how absolutely essential that 45-degree angle and the specific direction of combing are for controlling volume and shape in this particular bob, How do these basic principles, this geometry, apply to other layered cuts? Could we, just by understanding the degree of elevation in the direction we comb the hair, could we predict exactly where volume will build up or where elongation will happen in almost any layered style? Something to think about next time you're looking at a haircut, maybe.
Today you curtain bangs layered haircut. I want to explain our service in detail. Layered haircut here. Curtain cardamom, how to do this. You will see in detail. First, we create profile separation later. Say we will create a crown separation. Profile separation with crown separation. The process of dividing the hair into 4 main sections. We say friends. First distinction, profile distinction. Profile separation from the middle of 2 eyebrows to the straight line that I parted down to the neck. Profile separation. Second also. Crown separation from one ear to the other ear. The distinction we have separated, we call crown separation. Fold the front parts of the hair after the crown separation. A curtain to make cardamom process. We split the hair in half. After this separation, starting from ear levels, we create a diagonal separation from both sides. Then while cutting our customer's right side, I go to the left and starting from cheekbones, 45 degrees. We will create a distinction, haircut with a distinction of 45 degrees. So we'll start doing here profile, starting from the apple bones. We determine our sword from top to bottom at an angle of 45 degrees. And I cut and the other parts are the same, at an angle of 45 degrees after cutting. I scan them all towards myself and I make my cut by creating a single line. Then I will cut the left side. While cutting the left side, I pass to the right side of my customer. The first part of the guinea cheekbones. I cut it so I separate it diagonally. Later. Right? Scanning from left to right. I'm cutting the first part. Then the second part is the same from the right. I'm taking it all alone to the left. And cut the previous. From my hair point, I cut our banana the same size. After folding the front, back eye first, we created a profile separation on the right side. We divided the hair into 2 main sections. I will fold the back in 2 main sections. Same way again. I'm creating a diagonal separation towards the back. And on the right, piece. For cutting the right part, I go to the left side and the front one I cut first guinea from section. Right? To the left. As you can see by creating a distinction, I was born first cut. Hair point. I cut by specifying, so I scan. This time I'm scanning them all forward. That is at an angle of 45 degrees. Scanning directly to the front. I see the hair spot I cut before. I see the guide, so I equate it with hair length. Both in the front parts here, I equate with the height. I equate with the length in the front. Both. When the blow dry you scatter is taken. When the shape is given, the front. Hair equality. And long pieces. So that it does not appear. At 45-degree angles to the front section. I scan the back with diagonal angles and forward. I'm scanning in the front part again, at an angle of 90 degrees for scanning forward. I'm cutting. This side, no. What happens when I scan this cutting process forward? There is a folding process from the front to the back, because the hair in the front is a little short. There is a cut suitable for the short hair in the front. Hair falls longer towards the back. And folding process on the front and back. We are applying both. From the front. We shorten and fold. A hair we see when we throw it backwards. We made a move. And a both oval. Here and an oval back. The look was also folded and ovally. We will have a look. This time, E to check the hair guinea after combing. I comb the hair completely and towards the peak. I lift it up. I check again. He app, is there an error after checking it? Equalize, and from the ends, I'm cutting. I look at the 3 dots and cut by length. Then, so you know your hair. To apply a folding operation to the foundation, I divide the hair in half with the guinea star technique and listen piece by piece. As you can see, so neither too thick nor too much. I scan upwards in thin pieces, 90 degrees, and from the ends, with point cutting technique. I apply hair folding, here with the star technique, a suitable structure for the hair. I'm applying a folding process. As you can see here after seeing the longest point, Herzi, a point cutting technique. With point cutting technique, I'm applying a folding process. Here I comb the hair and from above, hair 90 degrees according to the direction of hair output, and 45 degrees compared to the length of the hair. I keep cutting with angles. As you can see, 90 degrees, scanning the stone, and the 45-degree point of cut with cutting technique. I continue my process. You too, to support my channel. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thanks to you, our videos reach many people. And thanks to you watching our videos. Dear friends, my video, thank you so much for watching and subscribing to my channel. Thank you. Our folding process is over, friends. Now to the ends of the hair. With the net scissors, that is, with the scissors we call intermediate scissors, we apply thinning softening process, starting from the front part to the hair auger technique. So I'm twisting the hair and the ends. With intermediate scissors, I'm thinning here at the ends to ensure a more homogeneous fall of the hair. To get a smoother image, I apply thinning process with auger technique. You want to watch my other videos too. If you want, in the videos section of my channel. Many kinds of videos. I have videos in many categories. You can watch my videos there too. If you have any questions, description part of my video. I have social media addresses there too. You can ask by contacting me, or in the comment section of my video. Leave your questions. I can read them and give you detailed information. You can ask questions. Do you also enjoy layered hair? Curtain cardamom and other EA Pixie haircuts, short haircut, bob cut, and other E. If you want to get services about hairdressing, to my salon in Istanbul Beylikdüzü, you can come. To come too. From my social media addresses in the description section of my video, reaching me by making an appointment, you can get service. I continue thinning the ends of the hair. The reason why I do auger hair when I do thinning on the back and ends. When the hair opens, so we get a more natural look. As you can see, our process is over. Now our forming process, we will apply our process. I will apply a layered moving blow dry process. As you can see, front moving, folded backs. We are with you with a beautiful hair design, friends. If you like my video eye model, if you like the design, make sure to like my video. Commenting in social media, don't forget to share on your address.
Hello to you today, haircut with cardamom. How to design, I will explain it in detail. Hair separation. We will create the sides. First First profile distinction. Profile separation from the beginning of the forehead to the neck straight. Separation to dot asterisk, the distinction is E. Crown separation asterisk, crown separation from ear to ear. One from ear to ear as the straight distinction we have divided. We create the second distinction. After creating these divisions asterisk, we divide our hair into 4 main sections, that is, into 4 parts, asterisk, after dividing it into 4 pieces. Your hair from behind your hair to determine the length of the hair to form the basis asterisk A. Horizontal distinction we create and determine the length of the hair. We have determined the length of the first stage, hair level here, to sharpening cutting technique. That is, with a straight scissor stroke, 2 and E, we tilt our customer's head very little forward and the length of your hair. We determine the first stage here. We show our customer what size we will cut after deciding asterisk E straight scissors from the end of the hair start, the cutting process. This will be our guide. We will proceed in accordance with this guide asterisk, yes, E. I'm scanning backwards asterisk and E from the hair point I cut starting from the right to the left. I'm moving with straight scissor blows too after cutting the first stage. I divide it into stages. I create 1 horizontal distinction in guinea asterisk. I'm creating horizontal separations because it will be 1 straight cut, friends. If there was a layered cut, I would create a vertical separation E, and even if it was an angle of 45 degrees, asterisk I would have to create diagonal divisions asterisk, yes, because I made a straight cut asterisk E. Create 1 horizontal distinction and 1 I see the hair point I cut before. So after seeing my guide asterisk, I cut the back part, gradually scanning backwards in 3 pieces asterisk and yes to the guide we cut before, following as appropriate. I continue my cutting process. Straight scissor blow here. I cut it with what we call a sharp line cutting technique asterisk. Straight scissors with 1 technique. I'm cutting with a blow here. I'm cutting, yes, my comb is light white. I'm using a comb dark hair asterisk. I use light colored combs on hair. Here is mine too, so it's easier when cutting hair asterisk E. It allows me to trade here, by the way, when cutting. Your scissors must be, it needs to be sharp 1 asterisk when you cut hair with scissors. Without breaking the ends of the hair, you can create clear cuts, and by breaking when the hair grows asterisk, not necessarily. Lengthen and in periods of 6 months asterisk. Don't forget to wrist your scissors. Don't forget to sharpen sharp. Scissors are always healthier asterisk 1 haircut. Your client's hair grows healthier. This will return you positively. See you soon. Yes, after cutting the hair hair guinea profile distinction backwards from the face that started my forehead 1 asterisk, I'm creating a profile distinction asterisk. So I divided the hair into 2 main sections asterisk. Here is the curtain on the front of the hair asterisk. We will create a cardamom design and starting from the backwards vertex. I make 1 distinction diagonal to the back. I separate the front part, that is, according to the ear level, that is, Both crown separation asterisk suitable, but your crown separation asterisk EI separated. As diagonal cross separation asterisk, and after creating this separation from the eyebrow, level asterisk purchase motive separation in the front part of the eye, I will create this purchase motive separation starting from the end of the eyebrow asterisk from the peak to form a triangular shape asterisk from the front part of one distinction, so as to have a triangle view we separate, yes. The chakra is diagonal with a distinction. We will create a triangle view with distinction is the distinction we call the buying motif asterisk here. The hair is in the curtain and bangs, usually in the middle, asterisk E separation from the beginning of the forehead. That is, the nose we distinguish from the middle starting from the line, and after making the distinction asterisk E, your cheekbones starting from the point of decline to the front I apply folding process with 45-degree angles. I pass to the left side of my customer while cutting the right side asterisk from the left side. Because the angle will be more comfortable asterisk I applied. Cutting with diagonal divisions. Now I went to my customers right, but this time I cut the left side asterisk 45-degree. Diagonal 1 on the left side asterisk E by creating a distinction and scanning direction E. From right to left, one applying scanning direction, I. Created the curtain cardamom design, yes hereafter, creating the haircut as you can see from the peak. I scan upwards, and from the inside out, E. Your hair, E like this. E. I'm checking if there is a wrong part 1, so now asterisk E back. Diagonal the E point where we are separated, the right and left sides are the same. Now asterisk E after cutting the part of my front rivet E anal motif, so yes guinea my client's right side asterisk. I went to the left side to cut it and E I'm doing the folding job here by creating one scanning angle from right to left E, the shortest point of hair E, your best point. After seeing your hair asterisk, I do the cutting process after seeing your short hair. As you can see here, I comb the hair at a certain angle, and after seeing the length of the hair, we see our sheath, and I even cut my hair suitable for that cover asterisk here. On the right I cut it straight, or it's suitable for the length of the hair. I cut the way so your hair, the most behind asterisk. I cut the starting point like that, as a guide asterisk now. As you can see, my customer guinea, back to front, asterisk back. Hair asterisk, I've separated. The hat somehow her hair was also front, so I divided the hair in half, or there were 2 sections left. Part 1, now E from back to front, I'm scanning an E from the point in front after scanning the bottom section, so E, the hair spot. I cut on the right E. I combine it with the hair point, so I'm scanning forward, and at the point of the hair, I cut it to fit the longest section. Asterisk. So what we call the temple point E part, at the level of your ear section length, in the hair part E. Hair point asterisk, as a guide. That is, hair length as a guide asterisk. I'm cutting it now, here again, I. Cut the left side, now you see the right side. I'm scanning for creating a diagonal distinction asterisk. I've created one distinction until the neck. I also scan this distinction forward, E. And I cut it on the left side asterisk, E take one sword from the point and check it on that sword. So equate each other, asterisk, 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 and I cut the hair I combed to the front asterisk. Here when I comb the hair forward asterisk, without losing the length on the back of the hair on the front of the hair, because we created a certain shortness, asterisk did we create the folding section. that short front sides asterisk for cutting point section from hair when we comb backwards both automatically folded asterisk, and your hair is not shorter than your height, so here, according to the shortness in the front length of the hair one. We create a haircut asterisk, we comb the hair from the neck to the front, and a certain 1 point asterisk we cut it to this is for us, asterisk, creating one activation. Operation, the front sides are short, as we scan forward back sides are long. One view here in bob cut 2, in the bob cut stretching forward, as we did asterisk, what were we doing? They don't have a front to be long asterisk We were combing from front to back here, for the back of the hair to be long from back to front asterisk Create a fixed design, so constant short, so we identified these points asterisk when we make appropriate cuts to those points behind It doesn't get shorter, and we have applied the folding process asterisk because we comb the hair right for ourselves and upwards to a certain point. We are cutting, border, yes asterisk after cutting. Now with file scissors by dividing it into sections. I apply, thinning the ends of the hair with file scissors. I also apply the net scissors with the piquettes technique. From the ends of the hair, and light. Textural one, thinning, asterisk, this. Makes the hair look softer asterisk. Yes, you are also curtain bangs, asterisk layered haircut, and other layered haircut designs. Bob haircut, pixie haircut, short layered haircut designs. If you want to get service, in the V, asterisk, my channel, asterisk, yes. In the description section, asterisk I have social media addresses by reaching my hall from there, so you can get service from me also in the description part of my video. I will have social media addresses reaching me from their haircutting service. By coming to my salon asterisk, you can get hairdressing, service moving floor, as you can see, The back of the curtain is long asterisk A folded hair design, without losing its form, we made the front folded Curtain bangs hair design, asterisk, like my video, and subscribe to my channel, asterisk, don't forget, I wish you a good day, see you.
Hello everyone, graduation for you today. How to make a bob haircut that grows forward. I will explain it in detail. First, I create profile separation. Profile separation, middle of two eyebrows. The straight separation we have divided up to the neck, we say profile separation. Then crown separation as the second distinction. Crown separation, from one ear to the other ear. Guinea, the section we have divided as a straight line. We call crown separation. After making this distinction, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. Here, every crown is in the separation, From the separation point we call hat separation. I make a distinction, and as you can see the back, guinea, in 2 pieces. Profile separation. I made a distinction from the point of the neck. Here we will create the foundation of the hair. Also to cut the foundation. At the bottom I left a piece straight. This will be the size. As you can see from this nape part, with a straight sharp weft technique, so using our comb like a straight ruler, I continue my cutting process. Here, I started from the nape part of the hair to make a straight cut. As you can see after cutting, I created a straight ad cut. And when it comes forward, it's a little light. Other sky, it's a little 45 degrees for it to stretch forward. I applied angle. Short neck stretching forward. Using our comb as a ruler, down at an angle of 45 degrees. I left the front parts of the hair long. The back is shorter. Here's on the back. I used it as a ruler again and created a straight line. So I applied a straight cut. This was the first stage. Now I'm cutting the second stage. As you can see here, on the back, I divided two parts from these two parts. One more piece at the point I reserved. I created a horizontal distinction after creating the separation. The first hair point I cut on the back. Serves as a guide towards myself. Horizontal at an angle of 45 degrees. As you can see here, my finger, by forming an angle of 45 degrees, horizontally towards myself. I pulled it, and then it's horizontal. I made the cut at an angle of 45 degrees.
Here then cross.
At an angle of 45 degrees. I make the hair look long forward. I'm doing it gradually as a right and a left. First I cut the right, then I cut the left. Now I cut the left side. As you can see, I cut the bottom by creating an angle of 45 degrees. I see my guide, and at an angle of 45 degrees. Scanning backwards. The reason I scan backwards, if you cut backwards at a fixed point, when you leave it forward, the front of the hair becomes long, and here I cut using an angle of 45 degrees, from short to long. Form. There will be a long haircut towards the front with folded back parts. So the back is curved and moving front longer, and we will have a nice image. I'm scanning myself right here, and the hair I cut before, after seeing your hair point, I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees. I'm scanning backwards here, as you can see. Their front is long because I'm scanning backwards. I'm moving to the third stage, to the peak. When I reach the peak, I create a vertical separation. And after creating vertical separation, I comb the hair out again and from the inside out again at an angle of 45 degrees. I'm cutting tar. Then I create a new slice separation. And from the point I cut before, I see the girl long point, and I cut it at an angle of 45 degrees to the front. Scanning backwards to Guinea, and cut at 45 degrees angle. After cutting the right side Guinea, I go to the left side Guinea. At the peak, I see our hair point, our guide, and down at 45-degree angles, I cut it curved and folded. Here her hair is fixed backwards, so I cut by combing backwards. When you comb backwards, the hair is longer to the front and it gets a nice look without being short. Here the front parts of the hair, the long back parts, short and folded, to get the look. I apply it to a work hill. When I come to the point again at an angle of 45 degrees, I'm cutting. This hair point, we cut in the back. Point as a guide. I apply the point I cut in the middle. Then, I separate the middle guinea. I separate the separation point of the hair and the peak according to the point of fall of the hair, short part in the nape part. I'm getting a guide and forward. It will look longer at an angle of 45 degrees. Guinea to create a design that extends from the neck to the front. Comb ruler, using it as a downward angle of 45 degrees. I cut it later. To check the point I cut. Guinea at 45-degree angles. I create diagonal divisions, and so I scan backwards by creating cross divisions. I keep making sure. Left side. After cutting, I do the right side the same way. As you can see, the neck is short and long towards the front. I cut the neck short to create a design. to be longer towards the front E. Using my comb as a ruler, let's make it long forward. As you can see here, my comb is light in color. Hair color, E light, because it is dark. Well, it's more advantageous to use a comb. We see the hair more clearly. E, here is the color of your comb. I want to emphasize that it is important. Light comb on dark hair. Use dark combs on light hair. It will be more advantageous for you. With forward diagonal separations, I keep cutting at 45-degree angles. If you want to get a haircut like this, there are social media addresses in the description section of my video. By reaching my salon from here. You can get hairdressing service. I apply softening after cutting our hairstyle. Here, I will apply thinning to the ends of the hair with a feel scissors. And this will make the hair a better transition. Again with gradual separations. Only the hair ends of the effect scissors apply it to the end parts. I apply softening process without thinning too much. Here, not from the bottom of the hair, but to the ends of the hair. Your application will be more advantageous. The transitions on the ends of the hair are more beautiful. It will be healthy and will not thin the hair too much. But from the bottom E, if you use a feel scissors, the hair will swell. Swell and E shape will help you take shape hard. So I want to tell you, so if you do it on the ends of the hair, you can get better results. Gradually E upwards. I continue here on the hill. Hey, auger technique to guinea nibs. I apply a thinning process. Here you like my video and my channel. It is very important that you subscribe to my channel. If you like my video and subscribe to my channel here, I would be very pleased. Notification bell. If you open one of my new videos, you will be informed. Make the transitions of the hair softer by thinning. We provide. This makes it a better image. Here with graduation front stretching bob haircut. So we can also say the very old Victoria Beckham model. Front long back short design. As you can see the front. Long back short and folded design. I hope you like it. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. I will be with you with new videos. Hope to see you in the next video. Take good care of yourself.
Okay, so if you've ever tried cutting hair, maybe your own, maybe someone else's, or even just watched a stylist, you know that feeling, right? Trying to get that perfectly straight line.
Oh, yeah. That geometric precision. It's tougher than it looks.
Way tougher. We're not talking looks straight enough. We mean like laser level straight. So today, we're diving into some source material that honestly flips the script on how you achieve this.
It really does.
It's not about fancy scissors or some kind of, innate freehand talent. This is, well, it's almost mechanical, industrial even.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Our source is basically this really detailed video transcript and instructional guide on how to get that impeccable line using just a standard shaver or clipper.
Right, the kind you might think are just for fades or buzz cuts.
Exactly. And our mission here is to really unpack this specific method. What's fascinating, I think, is how it shifts the focus. It's less about the stylist's feel for it and more about setting up this rigid engineered system. Using physical constraints to guarantee that straight line, almost taking the human variable out of it.
And that tells you immediately, if you're listening, that most of the work, the real work, happens way before any cutting starts.
Absolutely. This whole method hinges on like two key things. Very specific prep work to get rid of any variables in the hair itself, and then this unique two-part system to hold the hair completely still.
Yeah. They essentially turn the hair from something flowing into, well, like you said, almost like a block of wood you can measure and cut precisely.
Okay, so let's break down that foundation first. the prep. Because, as the source makes clear, if you mess this up, forget it.
Right.
It's non-negotiable. The guide is emphatic. The hair must be blow-dried perfectly straight and smooth first. They use this term, doomdoos purusus, which means...
It's more than just straight. It implies, like, flawlessly sleek, utterly smooth, zero waves, zero frizz, perfectly uniform.
Okay, but why? Why is that so critical? Couldn't you just, comb it really straight right before you cut? That's a great question. And it gets right to the physics of hair, really. If there's even a tiny bit of wave or texture left, when you release that hair from the comb after the cut, it's going to spring back, even a little bit. And poof, there goes your perfect line.
Okay.
The blow dry forces every strand into its final resting state before you cut. You're basically standardized in the material, eliminating all those little variables like shrinkage or natural movement.
Got it. Preparing the canvas, essentially. But it's not just the hair, is it? The source also talks about how the client sits.
Yes, exactly. Client posture. Before any cutting happens, they ask the client to tilt their head forward slightly. Hafif oneeshimesini istiorus is the phrase used, just a subtle lean forward.
And why that specific positioning?
Well, it's all about controlling the geometry again. Think about cutting fabric draped over something round, like a shoulder.
Okay.
You naturally get a curve, right? So by leaning the head forward, the hair hangs away from the curve of the neck and back slightly. It creates a flatter plane to cut against gravity.
Okay, I think I see.
Then, when the client sits up straight again, that perfectly straight line hangs correctly, draping nicely across their back. It's anticipating how gravity will affect the hair in its final position.
So we've standardized the hair, that perfect blow dry. We've standardized the cutting plane, the forward lean. Now the next big problem is movement.
Right. Any tiny shift, hair's moving side to side, it ruins the line. And this is where the real kind of aha moment of this whole technique comes in, I think.
Yeah.
This is the core innovation, the dual cone lock.
Yeah.
This is it. This is where it gets really clever and very mechanical. The absolute goal is immobilization, total lockdown.
Because usually when a straight cut goes wrong.
Yeah, it's because the hair slips or scatters or the tension isn't even as you cut across.
Yeah.
This dual comb thing tackles that head on.
So how does it work? What are they actually doing with these combs?
It's literally like making a hair sandwich. You need two combs, just standard combs. One goes underneath the section of hair you're about to cut, pressing up. And the other comb goes right on top, pressing down. Bir tarak alta, bir tarak justa, top and bottom.
And they're not just resting there, you're saying. They're actively pressing the hair.
Actively compressing it. The source uses the term sasha kitliorus, which means we lock the hair.
Locking it, okay.
And the whole point of this compression is to stop the hair scattering or shifting sideways while you cut. Sasansola oinamasana in jelly check, preventing it moving right or left.
Okay, hold on. Here's my question then. If you squeeze the hair that tight between two hard combs, won't that tension make the hair spring up unevenly when you take the combs away? Aren't you just creating a different kind of problem?
That's a really sharp observation, and yet it's a potential issue you have to consider. If the hair was very fine, maybe, or the pressure wasn't totally even,
right,
you could get some recoil. But remember that super straight blow dry, the doomdoos purusus, that minimizes how much the hair can even stretch vertically in the first place. So the main job of this lock isn't really about vertical tension. It's almost entirely about lateral stability, stopping sideways escape. Think of the combs creating, like, a rigid channel.
A jig in woodworking or something.
Exactly. They're less worried about a tiny, uniform vertical stretch and much more worried about hair slipping out the sides as the clippo comes along.
So the lock basically forces the hair section to act like one solid unit. No slipping, no scattering. The compression gives it the rigidity needed for the cut. Precisely. And then, holding those combs tightly locked together, they pull the whole thing down to where the cut needs to happen. And the instruction here is critical. The combs must be held perfectly straight and flat. Dus bir şekilde tutuyoruz?
So the straightness of the final cut depends entirely on how straight you hold those two combs.
Yes. The combs become the template, the absolute guide. They are the ruler.
Which brings us to the cutting part. And this is where it gets really unconventional because the guide is so solid, so locked in.
Right. They don't need traditional shears, which always have some element of, human hand movement or swing. Instead, they use a standard shaver. A clipper.
Yeah, a clipper. The Turish Machinesi, which is kind of brilliant because it's a machine designed for consistent mechanical motion.
But they don't just buzz across it, right? There's a specific way they hold it.
Very specific. The angle is key. The source says they bring the clipper to a 0-degree angle.
0 degrees, that sounds weird. Normally with clippers, you lay the flat part against the comb or the head, don't you?
You do, for like a buzz cut. But here, 0 degrees means you're only using the very, very tip, the cutting edge of the blade, and utoigetirip, just the end point.
Why just the tip?
Well, think about it. If you press the whole flat part of the clipper blade against that comb guide,
Yeah.
there's more surface area, more chance for vibration, and maybe pushing the comb slightly, even micro movements. By using just that 0-degree tip, it's minimal contact, maximum precision.
Ah, it's like using the very point of a craft knife against a ruler, not the whole flat side of the blade.
Perfect analogy. You're treating the clipper edge like a precision instrument running along that preset track.
And that track is the bottom comb.
Exactly. The bottom comb is the cutting guide. The source explicitly says it's used like a ruler, said Vilgibi. The clipper just follows that perfectly straight, rigid edge created by the comb.
So the accuracy isn't in the stylist's hand anymore, it's built into the setup, into that comb lock.
Completely. The precision is transferred to the integrity of the locked combs. The cutting itself becomes almost automatic. So you're listening, just picture that. This flowing hair subtly compressed into a hard straight line by the combs. And then this clipper blade just zips across, using the comb edge as its guide. And the result, according to the source, is immediate and clear. After you do this, you get a perfectly straight image look.
Wow.
Then, of course, there's a quick final check, UFAC beer control, just to make sure every strand was caught and cut cleanly by the guide. But essentially, the job's done, mechanically straight.
Okay, so let's wrap this up for the listener. Let's distill the key takeaways from this really technical deep dive. We started looking for that perfect straight line.
Yeah. And we found this blueprint for achieving it through mechanics, really, not just art. So the key things for you to remember are, 1, the prep is everything. That perfect blow dry, the client's posture standardizing first. 2, the absolute core idea is that dual comb locking system, turning flowing hair into a rigid block to stop any sideways movement.
Right, the lateral stability.
And 3, using the clipper completely differently. Not freehand, but as a precision tool guided by that comb ruler, using just the 0-degree tip.
And I think what this really shows us, stepping back, is that anytime you're chasing technical perfection with something inherently variable like hair or maybe even other things,
Sure.
mastery often comes down to obsessing over the setup, controlling the conditions, stabilizing everything, eliminating the variables before the main event. The actual cut, in this case, becomes almost inevitable if the prep is perfect.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it leaves us with a final thought, maybe a provocative one for you to chew on, building on how rigorous this whole process is.
Given how many steps there are, the specific blow dry, the posture tweak, the physics of the comb lock, the precise clipper angle just to get one perfectly straight line, what does that tell us about how incredibly challenging it must be to achieve even basic geometric precision in hands-on human services like styling?
It implies that what looks simple, or maybe even effortless,
Right.
often has this incredibly complex, tightly controlled process hidden underneath. Perfection isn't luck, it's engineered.
A lot of hidden labor behind that perfect result.
Definitely food for thought. Well, thanks for exploring the geometry of the perfect haircut with us today.
Yeah, this was fascinating. We look forward to diving into the next set of sources with you all.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. To you today, how to make a blunt bob haircut. I will explain it in detail. I will create the basic distinctions first. Our first distinction is profile separation. After creating my profile distinction, also as the second distinction, I will create a crown separation. Profile separation. My forehead precedent from the beginning. The distinction we have divided to the neck. At the coronation. Comb again. We put it on the crown of your forehead. And from the point where our comb's back touches a crown separation to the distinction we have separated, that is, 1. From ear to ear. A fixed 1. The distinction we have separated as a line is called the crown separation. Here the crown separation the front and back of the hair. Separating 2 main sections. Profile separation also divides the hair in half, so here we divide the hair into 4 basic E sections. We divide it into 4 basic parts. after dividing it into 4 basic parts in one step. We will apply a haircut, to separate it in a gradual way. I'm starting and I'll cut it gradually. Here, our first level will be the dye of our model's hair. We will apply one straight haircut. So create a blunt haircut, comb 6 for applying it. So we apply the technique of sharp ablution. That is, we also apply it with a straight scissor stroke. There will be one straight haircut. Here, I will use one angle of 0 degrees. So I use my comb as a ruler. Without creating any angle. There will be one haircut suitable for the direction of hair fall. I make our model tilt its head very slightly forward. And here, first, setting our guide, as you can see, without opening the neck too much. And with sharp horse cutting technique, that is, with straight scissor stroke. I'm cutting the first part. Then left side, then right side. This is the first hair I cut. I equate with paint. This hair will be tall, guys. This will be our guide. All in accordance with this guide, we will cut the hair length to the same length. This is our guide, this hair length. We are going to the second stage, as we can see, second stage hair length. I will equal the hair length we cut in the first stage. As you can see here, I reserve the first part. I comb your hair downwards according to the natural combing direction. I tilt our customer's head very slightly forward and, using my comb as a ruler 1, with the hair length I cut before, equalizing in the same way. So here I use my comb like a ruler. I align and cut with a straight scissor stroke. Here is the sharpening cutting technique. Also named Guinea. I'm separating the first piece from the second floor. This one is the same as the hair size we cut before. I use my comb like a ruler and cut it. But here in every hair I cut, our customer's hair, I make your head tilt slightly forward. Because when it bends too little forward, the angle there makes the hair straighter. And when he gives back, you cut it straight in a blunt way. You can make a mistake there. It has to bend down 1 click. Because when he bends things, it doesn't reveal the little hair at the bottom either. This time, when the customer tilts his head forward, the bottom is like this. One section appears at the bottom, like this protrusion. It's also annoying. You will have to cut again. As you can see, we went to the third stage of the back part. Third stage at the bottom one. The hair point we cut before, Guinea in the same way. I keep cutting the same size. In these straight cuts, you can use the same technique. Here only, blunt 1 model here because your hair is short, Blunt straight 1 haircut, design. Here the length of the whole hair is all equal length. Blunt because it will be the same size. Straight blunt haircut. I'm doing the design. Right side, one with the hair point I cut before. Our guide is the same size. Our customer after cutting. I tilt the head of our model to the slightly front part and use my comb as a ruler. one with the hair size I cut before. I say equal here by using my comb as a ruler. I comb the natural fall of the hair correctly without any mistakes. In the same way as the hair point I appeared. I continue my cut by equalizing. I'm asking you here. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Your thoughts too. I would be very pleased if you specify in the comments section of my video. Yes, after cutting the back. We go to the left side of our customer. Guinea head of our customer. Tilting to the right. After bending, behind the ear, before you get over the ear bulge, I divided it into the middle of the ear as you can see, and some behind the ear. I equalized the hair length on the back there. And the next one above the ear as you can see in the front. Here we equate the ear bulge. And we make one straight cut. If you scan it directly without calculating the ear bulge, and if you cut it straight, when you blow dry, when it dries, the protrusion of the ear appears. And straight one cut does not appear, and please the height of the ear to the top. Prevents hair from being straight at the bottom. So from the middle, right at ear level, to the back of your ear, you take one hair apart and straight from that hair. From the guide we have determined on the back, we cut our hair, and the rest in the front. We equalize the hair from there. And the same in the second level. From the hair point, we cut a donut. We cut it in line. Our customer's hair, stance, angle is very important here. We don't cut straight. We tilt our customer's hair a little and cut it like that. After cutting the left side, we go to the right again in the same way. Our customer's hair length without cutting the first. He light his head, a little according to the posture direction of the hair. We tilt, and after tilting, just like I cut it on the left side, we continue our haircut here. Guinea, you are also like this one. Haircut. And if you want to have other haircut models, I have social media customs in the description part of my video. From here, by reaching me on social media addresses and coming to my hall. Haircut coloring, retouching keratin hair care, balayage haircut, and other hairdressing services. You can get service. You can come to my hall and get service. I'm working with appointment. Morning, 10, evening, 6. I can make an appointment between hours. Our place is in Beylikdüzü. After doing my contours here, on the right side and on the left side, I apply my contours and light hair on the front. I'll add some movement, so I'll do some folding on the front. Here, while adjusting the front part, as you can see again from the forehead point of the hair 1, I'm creating a profile distinction. I'm dividing the hair in half. And here, from the eyebrow line, front part 1, forehead motif, by creating the distinction, i.e. triangle 1. I make a distinction. After creating this triangular separation, important feature of triangular separation, right and left T. From the section, because we got it from the eyebrow line, right side and left side. Part 2, intensely taking one way, the right side and the left side. Only from the front without emptying too much. From the part where your forehead is because we make one distinction from the section where the forehead is. A slightly beautiful one movement in the front. And my forager bangs are one point where we can fold. It's okay, I'm creating one nice distinction there too. I cut the right side of our customer. I pass the breadth of our customer for, I'm adjusting the angle here much better. And as you can see here, your hair is short. E after remembering the short point. E for cutting by determining my angle. I provide one nice transition from short to long. After cutting the right side, I go to the left side. The left side is the same. I get one guide from the hair point I cut before. And here in my comb, E, because it's numbered so suddenly, like a ruler until 20. So when I measure what size I cut and take one click on the left side and get the same size. At the same time, I'm cutting from the same point as you can see, so we have created a millimetric 1 design here. It's neither short nor too long, I cut it in the same short. And that shortness too, guinea the same way. One eat distinction from left to right. E by creating, so I'm scanning. And I see the hair point and I keep cutting. You too with the join button of my channel. Well, I would be very pleased if you want to support my channel. Thanks to you, my channel is getting bigger every day. And we became a big family. Our 229,000 subscribers. So thanks to valuable people like you, our audiences, time is growing. People who don't subscribe to my video, 97-100 are watching. I request you, when you watch my video, if you subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications, you will be informed of my new videos. You will watch my new videos without interruption. Friends, make sure to turn on the notification bell of my video. And be aware of my newly published videos. And when you subscribe to my channel, you are also aware of my other videos. And if you want to watch my other different videos, my channel, video section is available from there. Video section. I have 757 videos. I have videos in many categories. You can watch them too. We have come to the end of our haircut, friends. Flat blonde as you can see. Right in the OMSI field without opening the neck too much one. Sheet. We have created a haircut design. You are this style one. If you want to get a haircut, I'm in Beylikdüzü by contacting me on my social media addresses. Coming to my hall. Haircut from me. You can get coloring and other hairdressing services. I'm working on an appointment. I love you. Hope to see you. Take care of yourself.
Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I'm with you with a new video. To you today, how to do blunt haircut. I will explain it in detail. First, we make profile separation. Profile separation your neck from the beginning of your forehead. We applied until the end. We call the straight line profile separation. If the second E distinction. E. Crown separation from one ear to the other. We also apply this distinction. When we apply this distinction, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. We make a straight distinction from the back again. After separating the 4 main sections, hair gradually starting from the neck, with sharp horse cutting technique. Her hair here, creating sharp lines. Create a straight cut and get a blunt look. Here with the comb 6 hair cutting technique. As you can see, comb with 6 hair cutting technique. We apply a straight cut burden. We determine the length of the hair in the first level we cut. This size affects the whole course of your hair. And so this is our guide. By following this guide, we'll cut all the hair the same size. HH. If you want to watch my other videos too, my channel, I have many category videos in the videos section. Guinea comb after cutting his neck. With hair cutting technique. As you can see, using my comb as a ruler and following the previous haircut height, I continue cutting on the same plane and cut in the same way as the second stage. I'm so sorry I went to this third level. Guinea sweat left with hair cutting technique, using my comb as a ruler, using the spot where I cut my previous hair, and I continue my haircut. I continue my cutting by creating a straight line. Here, I use my comb in light color. Our hair color is darky. Comb haircut comb use is also very important. If you use a comb according to the color of the hair. Very comfortable in the cut You watch on the road. I recommend this to you as a footnote. As you can see, the hair point I cut before. Again using our comb as a ruler, we continue our haircut. Gradually separating the hair. Creating horizontal separations. And sharp horse cutting technique with straight scissor stroke, using our comb as a ruler. We will get a blunt look. We use our comb like a ruler. And we continue our cutting. The hair color of the cut comb you used here. We stated that it should be compatible. If the hair is dark here, a light comb. If the hair is light, you can choose a dark comb. While cutting, make sure your scissors are specific. Certain scissors make clearer cuts and helps you cut hair without shredding. This is too when you cut your customer. So when the next month comes, it will tell you that your hair grows healthier. As you can see, the backstage is completely. We cut it with the first size we cut. Now we go to the left side. We will cut the sides. Here is to 2-stage chestnut hair. Here is the head of our customer first, adjusting the stance distance. And here, combing hair. As you can see, from the hair point we cut before, taking our guide, we continue our haircut from here. VE. From the first hair point we cut, following our guide, on our side. I keep cutting. After cutting the left side, the right side is also. We cut 2 stages. Our budget hair. E. I'm adjusting the stopping distance of the head of our budget. And as you can see, following our guide. We continue our cut. Here by taking the space in your ear and touching it with scissors. This is also very important. We continue our cut after receiving. Here at the bottom, after checking our guide, I keep cutting our hair point. To the front of the hair after cutting the basic length of the hair. We will earn some read, hereby creating distinctions from the line of the forehead and eyebrows. So by creating a separation of purchase motif. I'm creating a triangular distinction here. My eyebrows here, from the starting end point of your eyebrows, starting from 1, and our customer's cutting section, standing on the diagonal. I separate and we continue our cut. I'm applying 45-degree angles here. And the first hair point I cut as a guide. I keep cutting, providing a nice pass in front. Here cartoon bang curtain bangs, to get a look we call. We made our distinction and we continue our cutting process. After cutting the first part, I moved to the second part. Here is our comb. I'm measuring the hair point I cut before. And the same. I cut in inches. And gradually again at 45-degree angles. I continue to cut. As you can see, we got a blunt look. All hair length with moving fronts is the same size. A Kurdish hair design. If you want to get a haircut like this, coming to my hall, by appointment, you can get the same style haircut service from me. You can get a haircut. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Hope to see you.
Hello friends, today is the curtain for you. Haircut with cardamom. How to design it, I will explain it in detail. When cutting hair, we will first create the basic distinctions. Our first basic distinction is profile separation. Profile separation. We are separated from the nose to the neck. We call straight separation profile separation. In this profile distinction, we divide the hair into two main sections. Crown separation from one ear to the other ear. We create one straight distinction. After doing this, we divide the hair into four main sections. After dividing into four main sections, step one way from the back part. We will determine the length of the hair. We will form the basis of this hair. So we will make a layered haircut after it is determined. But first, decide what size our hair will be, and according to it, we will apply one straight cut from the back. Ear comb to the sharpening cutting technique using 6 haircut techniques. Using the comb as a ruler, we apply one straight cutting process. After creating our first cut, this becomes our foundation. So it's our guide in accordance with this guide. Following our same size guide, and we apply straight one cutting process. We cut the first stage and we will cut the second stage in such a gradual way, using our comb as a ruler by creating horizontal separations. Create a straight one form. In this way, our hair is fuller and we will get one more voluminous image, and we determine the length of our hair. If you want to get a haircut like this, there are social media addresses in the description section of my video. Reaching here, you can come to my salon and get hair cutting service. Our hall is in Istanbul Beylikdüzü. Hair cutting service and other hairdressing services. If you make an appointment in the best way, I serve. We continue our model, creating the basic distinctions of our model. First we will make a straight cut, then after forming the straight cut, so after determining the size of the foundation, we will apply the folding process. By creating horizontal separations and scanning backwards single 1DC. I'm applying a straight one cutting process at the line, friends. Hereby applying the sharpening cutting technique, that is, we create one straight haircut with a blow. Later, this time our customer's hair, neck, head, by adapting its movement straight one, so the posture of our customer's head is also very important. When we go to the side, create a slight slope one and then hair length in accordance with the guide on the back. We continue in the same way. Right side, after cutting the left side, the right side is also... I apply the cutting process. After applying this process, we formed the basis of the hair. So we determined the length of the hair after determining this size. Now from the front of the hair, folding process by creating diagonal separations. We will make the distinction of hair. We are asking our customer which way to separate it from the front part. And after determining which direction you allocate it to that direction. Your hair. After determining the fall, with backward diagonal separations. 45-degree angles. We create a folding process by creating, here is the front part of the end of the eyebrow, Forehead motif. A shape, that is, creating a triangle by creating one shape in the front. We will start our curtain cardamom application process. And then that curtain is suitable for the shortness of the cardamom. We will apply a folding process, separate in the story. The part we reserved. We decided on which direction to allocate and, by passing to the end of our customer while cutting the right side. So cross at 45-degree angles, creating distinctions from Diego, our customer, in the front. From the point where the cheekbones were found, Determine the shortness and I'm folding the front part. And I continue to cut, combing your hair in the opposite direction. And 45-degree downward angles. I started my cutting process by creating and folding process on the front. I created one diagonal backwards to apply. And my customer's hair is our customer's. Folding the front part. Scan forward to create. In the short section on the front of the hair, forming angles of 45 degrees by continuing in one convenient way. I continue my folding process. As you can see here, my cover at the bottom, I see it, and in one way suitable for its shortness. I cut it the same size, and backward diagonal, creating across one distinction, and our customer, Scanning the front. How is it when I scan the front part is folded? The back part is folding too, but from the back. Prevents layered backwards longer. And both floors at the back. Both it is obvious, and from the length of the hair on the back. No shortening in any way. We are folding, but in the back, it comes in a V shape. Our model's hair, our customer's model, and we get one fold view. And the length of our customer's hair is not gone. Of course, according to its shortness, C for cutting. And he doesn't lose his E form at one. He catches one nice form. Right side. After cutting, I cut the left side with the same technique. I continue. He on the front. The left side is the same, by creating diagonal separations at an angle of 45 degrees to the cheekbones of your hair, remarkably short, the shortest point, in cross-diagonal separations. I continue the haircut. My client, because I cut the left side, I go to the right side and combing the hair in the opposite direction. I'm folding. After cutting the front part, diagonal if back, slice to slice guinea by creating cross separations to the back. I'm scanning forward by creating the distinction. When I scan forward, the front is folded. It gets one view stretching backwards here. I see the hair spot I cut before. I'm applying my flush folding process. And guinea too. I'm going to the level guinea diagonal. I created one distinction as scanning forward. And I continue my cutting. You also like my video and subscribe to my channel. Don't forget, thanks to you, our channel is growing every day, and we have a large family thanks to you. Yes, after seeing the hair point guide we cut, I finished my cutting. We applied the folding process here, friends. 2. Now I apply the thinning process, as you can see here. Creating diagonal distinctions, creating cross divisions again, in parts. I soften it with the Pictus technique, with file scissors, so that the ends of the hair are more beautiful. There is one transition on the floors. You also cover the ends of the hair with this kind of technique. You can soften. I don't use razor. Feel in hair. I apply softening and thinning with scissors. So the hair, it doesn't look like it's broken. It doesn't look like it's broken. There is no excessive thinning process, and the transition is more tremendous. One beautiful look. You are this style one. You can soften the ends of the hair with the technique. I request you, don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. If you turn on notifications, in my new videos, you will be informed of my new videos. As you can see here, the clock on the left side cut the left side, the same on the right. I'm thinning. With Pictus technique on the ends with a file scissors. I apply a thinning process. Our place is in Istanbul Beylikdüzü. If you want to get a haircut too, and the other way ombre retouch, bold hair coloring and other hairdressing services, you can make an appointment. There are social media addresses in the description section of my video. Our place is Beylikdüzü. You can easily reach. Don't forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. And my channel, notify me of my new videos by opening the notification bell. Yes, our cutting is over. And I will show you the final version of our model. Front folded backs longer. Obtained one moving image without losing its form. We will be friends. Thank you so much for watching my video. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for liking my video. Hope to see you with new videos. Take care of yourself. Hello friends, today you have a straight haircut. Curtain bangs, aka cartoon banks. Haircut. How to design it, I will explain it in detail. We create the first basic distinctions. We will divide the hair into 4 main sections. Our distinction to the first main section is profile separation. Profile separation 2. To the distinction we have separated from the eyebrow mark to the neck. We call it straight profile separation. Later crown separation from ear level to other ear. The straight separation we have separated, we call the crown distinction. When we create these distinctions, we divide the hair into 4 main sections. First part, I will apply straight haircut. Hair in the first part, I create one horizontal distinction from the nape part. And determine the size we will cut. We will apply the first basic distinction, is straight haircut. From the back part, I created a horizontal distinction and I cut the basis of the hair she. Right now I created a straight 1E cut here. This straight cut, then gradually upwards, creating horizontal separations. Her hair is the same size in the section where I cut it straight. I will cut, that is, the hair point we cut before as a sheath. I saw it and I cut it straight with one scissor stroke. And after equalizing that part in the same way, I'm opening the other part too. As you can see the top. At the bottom, I combine it with the guide we cut and cut it to the same size. As you can see here, with sharpening cutting technique, that is, straight truss service. I'm creating a straight 1 cut. Then from behind, the long remaining part is horizontal again, one in a gradual way, by creating a distinction. I keep cutting. That is one straight line by scanning the back part backwards. Clear 1 cut by forming line. I'm doing it so my hair's on the back. I specify for free and create 1 straight cut.